On this episode of the Empty Netters podcast, I am now teammates with Justin Bieber and Steve Carell, and CP is best friends with Vince Vaughn.
Is Mikko Rantanen going to be on the Carolina Hurricanes for 1 month?
And we are joined by Logan Thompson, star goaltender of the Washington Capitals. Ice is ready, and we are back with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast, brought to you by BetMGM. I am your host, Dan Powers, and with me here, a man who every year on his birthday watches Peter Pan and orders himself a nice sausage McGriddle, Chris Powers.
And a maple donut, and a bowl of clam chowder, and plays golf in some capacity.
Happy birthday.
Well, it's not my birthday.
I know, I'm just saying on your birthday, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you so much. Also, as always.
I was worried you were going to forget.
Also, as always, dude.
As always, Chris Powers, your birthday's coming up.
It is coming up.
I didn't really think about that.
Yeah, you fucked it because I got.
How did I fuck? It's not here.
Because I already know.
In fact, my intro of you, while maybe meant to insult you, you will never know, shone a light on the fact that it's your birthday. Now everyone listening knows that it's your birthday soon.
Send me stuff.
People are going to go, oh, it's CP's birthday? I'm going to start sending him stuff.
Dude, remember during COVID when Portnoy was getting gifts sent to him?
This is the most ridiculous moment.
Dude,
that was like one of the craziest moments in the history of the internet, but it was also some of the best viral marketing I've ever seen. Like, people were like, I'm just going to send Dave Portnoy shit and he's going to unbox it. Now everyone's going to know about my company.
That was crazy, dude. He was getting sent live animals. He had
that
to be like,
happened.
He had to be like...
Wasn't he getting sent like weapons, like significant like machete weapons?
But dude, that's where the goldfish shit came from. Like his fish came from that.
That's right. Yeah, and he was freaking out.
Yeah, and like they kept dying.
Wow. Well, we could do that with you.
That's what I'm saying.
I bet people would like to send you some stuff.
It'd be cool if I got sent a ton of gifts and then I unboxed it on a YouTube live.
Yeah. What's the address to the office?
What's the address here, Wags?
1920 Main Street? 1920 Main Street, Santa Monica.
I thought it was Bay Street.
No. That's the cross street, brother.
It's 1920.
1920 Main Street, Santa Monica. Send Chris stuff.
Okay. I send me birthday presents.
Send Chris some stuff.
And I...
Yeah, fuck. Well, they could have found that anyway.
You need a key card to get in. You need a key card to get in.
Yeah.
But I want birthday presents.
Yeah, send him stuff.
I will unbox them live on YouTube.
Send him stuff. That'll be great.
You know what I like? You people know what I like. You know me.
What do you think that they know? What are they going to send you? Ninja Turtle t-shirts? Idiot.
I think I'd probably get a bunch of Ninja Turtle tanks.
Yeah.
Or I'd probably get tanks.
You know what? It would actually be the funniest. Send CP stuff. And whoever sends the most perfect CP gift,
my favorite gift,
will get a box of Empty Netters merch.
Whoever sends me my favorite present,
yeah,
will receive
in the next week or two. Send CP birthday gifts, and whichever one is the best and is dubbed the most CP. And I have to vote on this too. It's not just your favorite.
What?
It's not. You're getting free gifts here. You can't be picky.
I can certainly decide what is the most me.
Yeah, you get a vote, but I get a vote too.
Mine has more weight than yours, though.
Agree.
Okay. So, 1920 Main Street, Santa Monica, my birthday.
Yeah.
Winner receives merch.
Yeah.
Winner receives a bag of merch.
It's going to be fantastic.
God. This is a great day.
Great, happy early birthday for you. Do you want to explain the origins of Peter Pan, the sausage McGriddle, the clam chowder, maple donut, and golf? It's a day where you finally do stuff that you want to do.
Yeah, because I only let myself do that once a year.
Yeah,
I have one maple donut and one McGriddle a year.
That is so. I'm going to give you an opportunity to start again, because that's a lie.
I have more than one maple donut, but very few. Like on one hand. Like I can't recall the last maple donut I had from my last birthday.
Why don't you just have more maple donuts? The McGriddle, I get. It's McDonald's.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that. No offense, McDonald's, but
there's just
eat McDonald's less is a good habit to be in, I think.
There's just no time. There's no when, dude. When would I get one?
A maple donut? Your house is next door to a donut shop.
I know, but it's not good for me.
So it's a health thing.
Yeah. Dude, everything that I eat that is bad for me is a nightmare. So,
Which is and that's brutal because that's everything. Everything's bad for us.
Dude, there's plastic. Dude, there's microplastics in everything. I just found this out. You can't even drink water anymore. Huberman said, I'll fucking link this, dude. Huberman said that there's so much microplastic in bottled water.
This is metal.
Yep. So he goes, put it in metal. But there is so much microplastic in tap water.
Yeah.
That in your metal thing. So he goes, what you need to do is you need to buy a filter, but every regular filter doesn't filter out the microplastic. So you have to get a reverse osmosis filter, which will pull out the microplastics from your water, which is very expensive. And then, unfortunately, the reverse osmosis filter also filters out all the minerals. So then you have to buy minerals
and put them
back
in the water.
your water. But surely the minerals come in a plastic thing.
And
so
have we figured out yet if Huberman is coincidentally selling all these things?
No, dude, he isn't. But he's trying to save us. But I'm like, dude, we're dead. Like, what are we talking about here?
Dude, here's the thing. We're all just going to die.
This
is something that all men have done and all men will do.
Yeah.
So
here's what's fucked. You know how in World War II, or maybe one, but I think two, we invented, it must have been one, whatever. When we invented cigarettes, we were like, dude, these are great. They're great for your nerves. Like doctors were like, dude, smoke this pack of cigarettes. Yeah. And then eventually that generation grew up and we were like, oh, okay, sorry, you are all dead from lung cancer, all of you. We will use your death as a sacrifice. It will not be in vain. We will learn from you and we will stop smoking cigarettes because you are all dead. Our generation is the plastic generation. Like we invented, not literally us, but like plastic got invented and we were like, oh, sick. This is such a more convenient container that's washable and lightweight and doesn't destruct ever. And actually we were putting plastic into our bodies that is now killing us. And future generations will say, God, remember the plastic generations? And I'll be like, yeah, that was us. We're dead. We died from microplastics.
Yeah.
Do you know what the biggest microplastic?
Here we go.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear this.
Here we go.
So do you guys use a plastic cutting board or wood cutting board?
Dude, so great question. We've been using plastic forever.
There you go. It's too bad for you.
Dead. So then, dude, we just got wood ones at the house, and then we saw a video that was like, these wood cutting boards are getting chips of wood everywhere. And
no, it's not even that. It's just like the grooves in the wood cutting board they're just collecting bacteria.
Yeah, there's worse bacteria in the wood than the plastic. And I'm like, okay, so
here's an idea. How about I just die? How about I just live my fucking life and die when I die? Because I promise you that the microplastics are not going to be why I die.
Dude, I think we need to move to fucking the woodland and just like shoot things with a bow and then bite into them. And I'll just eat it.
What if the arrow gets plastic into them and then now you're eating plastic?
The person who manufactured that arrow has plastics in it.
So I kill it with my bare hands.
Yeah, but unfortunately you clipped your nails with a nail clipper that has microplastics in the metal and...
Yeah, I can't even... I'd have to bite them. I'd have to bite everything. You have to use your mouth for everything.
Yeah. Was Liver King onto something?
I was just about to say that, Dan. But he was lying.
Because he was taking steroids filled with microplastics.
What he said he was doing, we should do.
Oh, God damn it, dude. This is so brutal.
Fuck.
But then don't the animals eat plastic too? So it's
dude. Like they're eating shit. Like that animal is going through my trash and they're
all plastic.
I just say we don't eat forever.
Yeah, hunger strike.
No, I'm gonna just start ODing on the plastics. Just go hard.
Yeah, dude. Oh, that's interesting.
Here's the deal.
Eat
dude.
plastic.
Just live your life.
Maybe you could eat plastic and it would suck the plastic out of my cells.
Yeah, I got Huberman telling me what to do, and meanwhile, I'm looking at the 110-year-old lady who drank whiskey every single morning
out of a metal bottle.
Or Dr. Pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like let's just do that. We'll be better off.
I'm in.
So, getting into hockey news, we are celebrities.
I'm in the NHL.
We are as famous as Justin Bieber.
We gave our gear away.
I have a Stanley Cup winning NHL Stars kid asking me for my stick.
Interesting.
What?
Interesting.
That's weird. Dude, what?
What?
That's weird. That's crazy.
What a night, dude. What a night.
What a night. Shout out the LA Kings.
Yep.
Put on an unbelievable celebrity game to help with the LA Fires.
Yep.
Tons of celebs, tons of ex-NHL stars came out and just put on a show. I mean, that was... I can only imagine with how quickly they put that together. I can only imagine how stressful it was for all of the Kings, or the whole organization, all the people who worked out. Shout out all of our friends there, Cheese, Mike, Michelle, Alec, everyone who just grinded and made that happen. What a time.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal.
Dude, it was so surreal that I was still processing it leaving. We have played in, I don't know how many people were there. I'm sure we can find that out, but like several thousand.
It was almost a packed house.
And I've played in rinks with a few thousand people before, and I've played in that rink a few times before, but just empty, you know? Just to be there playing with that many people and the Jumbotron on and like the whole thing.
Electric.
Broadcast
on ESPN.
Yeah, on TV.
Electric.
Seeing the pics our friends were sending was so crazy. And there were moments, dude, in the red team was wagon. Absolute wagon. Hot goalie. And also, not chirping. JR, Bieksa, Heater. They were going hard. Dion
going hard.
Dude.
Dion funny in the locker room after he was like, I blew up my hip stretching. Like before the game.
Dude, Bieksa told us before. KB was like, dude, we're winning. Like before, remember we saw him before, and he was like, "I'm here to win.
I'm here to win." He was like, "I'm not here to play around."
I told him.
Tomer was like, "Do you want to fight?" And he was like, "No, I don't want to play fight. I'll fight if you want to fight." And I was like, "Jesus Christ, Juice, relax."
Dude, I gave him a big hug in the handshake line after, and I was like, "You called your shot, dude.
Yeah.
You were not. This is no joke." But dude, there was one point where, my team was pushing to try to score at the end, so we had like everybody low because we were down, and they would get a turnover, and I was the last guy back, and it was JR, Danny Heatley, and Bieksa coming down on a 3-on-1, and I was like, what is happening right now?
Yeah.
Like, this is actually so insane that I'm on this ice with those guys playing this game. Like they scored.
Oh yeah. It's the best, dude.
Dude.
There's so many of those funny moments. Like it's a celeb game where obviously like no one's burning that hard.
Yeah.
But like I get a nice one-on-one with Heater, stuff him.
Poke check. And I texted you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I appreciated that.
I was watching in the it was sick because there was TVs in the locker room.
Yeah.
So like when I wasn't playing, Dan's playing. I'm in the locker room watching TV.
After I ripped that off him, he was like, "You fucker," and like gave me one in the back of the legs.
Taylor caught him from. I had another 2-on-1 with Heater and JR again, and Taylor was coming behind him. Taylor Kitsch was coming behind him, and they didn't see him, but I saw him, and I was like, and then he got like a stick lift on Heater, and he was like, "God, dude." Dude, what was Biebs like in the locker room?
He was great. Obviously he is so famous. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And it's honestly, it's funny. I don't even get it. Like when you think about it, you say his name, you're like, I get it. But you're like, I mean, why though?
Yeah.
But he is like the most famous fucking person in the world.
Yep.
But we had such a great locker room, dude. Greener, Jeff Carter, Tomer was in there. Josh Richards was in there. Shout out Josh Richards, by the way. Like I think it would be so easy to look at him as much sort of TikTok social media celebrity that he has with the Barstool gang. And he has stayed true and remains one of the boys. Yeah. Just like such a homie in the locker room, snapping it around with us. I hope I said Teddy, Kartzy. And then we had Steve Carell and Biebs in there as well. First and foremost, Steve Carell is everything that you want him to be. Meet your heroes if it is Steve Carell. God. He is just the nicest man in the world. So cool. Was just talking about hockey and like playing beer league and wanting to get back in it. Just such a gentleman. And Biebs, dude, again, he's too famous. I'm sure he's afraid about every conversation he ever has if people are going to use it against him.
Yep.
And he had a team of people in there. But there was a period where he almost kind of like asked the guys to like get out, like let us just be in the locker room.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And we're in the family room watching the game before we went out, and we're just myself and Josh were just talking about golf and talking about his handicap, the things he's working on. And there was a brief moment where he felt like one of the boys, dude. And I was just so happy for him. Like it's nice, dude. Being in the locker room was nice. We joked about it. We were like, what's the thing you miss, dude? And it's like that Shoresy line. It's the boys, the room. Yeah. And we sat, me, Teddy, Tomer, Kartsy, Nolan, Stoley, Greener sat in our gitch and undershirt just drinking beers for like 2 hours after the game because we were just like, I don't want to leave.
Yeah, right. That's because you guys said to chill too.
Yeah,
That's so sick.
It's fantastic. Yeah. So everyone was just the best, dude. And we got a really funny pregame speech from Coach Will Ferrell and Coach Snoop. And Will Ferrell comes in doing his shtick just to fucking riot. Yeah. And Snoop actually had a really nice moment where he was like, by the way, I want to thank all you guys. Like, I'm from LA, and it means a lot to me that you're here helping this charity. And Will goes, I didn't want to be here. Just to be clear. I was driving through downtown, saw something was going on, came in, made a huge mistake. Yeah. And now I'm just here.
Taking a break to talk to you guys about our partners with BetMGM and their sick bet get offer they've got cooking right now. So you download the BetMGM app, use promo code NETTERS, that's NETTERS, and then when you place a bet of $10, if you win, you get $150 in bonus bets put back into your account. That you can use that to bet on more stuff and then try to win more things and then build your empire. That's pretty sick, right? And it's all going to start from this bet get. You're going to say, God, how did this all happen to me? How did I get this incredible life? And I'm going to say that bet get. When you downloaded the BetMGM app and used promo code NETTERS and you used the bet get, that's how this all started. And you'll remember that moment for the rest of your life, and you'll remember me for the rest of your life. And that is awesome because that's all I want. I want happiness for all of us, for me, for you, and our partners at BetMGM. So let's go do that right now. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Call 1-800-327-5050 for Massachusetts. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP for Arizona. 21 plus only. Bet get offer only available in Arizona, Colorado, D.C., Massachusetts, Maryland, Michigan, North Carolina, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Virginia, West Virginia. Visit www.1800gambler.net for West Virginia. Please gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. This promotional offer is for new customers only, subject to eligibility requirements. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable. U.S. promotional offers not available in Mississippi, Nevada, New York, Ontario, and Puerto Rico.
And Will was like, all right, here's our game plan. If I say swarm, everyone on the ice, just go to the puck. Doesn't matter. Forget everyone else. Just go right to the puck. If I say blockade, fill the net. Stuff yourselves into the hockey net. And then Snoop was like, and if you need a break, just go like this. We'll get a little blunt going on the bench. And like all the cameramen were like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. And there was like a funny pause. And then Biebs goes, but for real, what's up with that weed though? It's fucking awesome.
Fuck, that is awesome.
It was just great vibes, dude. Great times in the locker room.
Yeah, dude. I heard Red said that your guys' locker room was slammed because obviously you had the big.
Oh, of course, dude. And like all the wags and the kids like wanted. Yeah. I mean, like Justin, what a guy, dude. Like it's just, I imagine it's his everyday, but took pictures with everybody.
That's so dope.
And like Steve too. They're just the best.
Yeah, good
stuff.
My coaches were Al Michaels and Danny DeVito. Yeah, and they gave a pregame speech, and I got two of them because we played twice. And Danny was hilarious because he was just like, okay. We gotta go and believe in each other and don't let them breathe. Don't let them breathe. We gotta win this game. You know? And then Al both times was like, and dude, it's so funny to look at Danny and not think it's an Always Sunny ep or a bit. Like he's just doing that and he's like, come on, support each other. And I'm like, where is this going? Yeah. And then Al was doing Herb Brooks stuff. Like he was like, you're born to be hockey players in this moment. But dude, he did that the first time, and then in the second one, he goes, I don't think he said you were born for this moment in the first one, but he said all the other things. He said, if you lose this game, you'll take it to your fucking grave.
Did he? Nice.
Yep. And then in the second one, he goes, you were born for this moment. And we all kind of start laughing because I'm like, oh, he's going to do the miracle thing again. And then he goes, imagine waking up in the morning. If you lose this game, the red team came here. And he paused for a second. I could tell he was thinking. And he goes, to kidnap our children. And I was like, whoa, dude.
That'll get you fired up, dude.
He goes, that's what I want you to think on.
Can't have that.
Red team is here to kidnap our children.
Can't have that.
Dude, let me tell you my 3 favorite moments.
Okay.
Number 1 of a million, dude. So I'm probably already forgotten.
Dude, it was just one hell of a time.
3 favorite moments. Number 1, Messier is obviously like quite a presence in there. Moose is just doing his thing. Everybody's like, he's the man. He scored a sick goal right away. Yeah. Like, he was just so dope. So he shows up, dude, and he's being wicked nice to everybody. And then we're all starting to get dressed because I was doing the family skate. You were out there for a bit too. So he was kind of already in there. I get to the locker room and Mess goes, I'm starting to put my stuff together. And Mess goes, I can hear him behind me. He goes, who wants Gatorades? Anyone need Gatorade? Gatorades. And I was like, I could do a G-Raid. And I turn around and Mess has a rack of Bud Lights. Just handed it. Dude, who needs Gatorade? Our team had gassed like 2 or 3 beers.
Oh,
and
same, dude.
Some of the boys were like, I didn't want beer. And then Mess was like, Gatorade? And they were like, uh-huh. Yeah, because I was like, what are you going to not pound a Bud Light with Mess right before this game, dude? So hearing Mess offer Gatorades out, and it was Cruisers, was sick. Number 2, I get there, and we posted pics, but like the stall is all decked out, right? Looks dope with our shit, our gear's hanging up. Because when we got to the rink, we're in valet. We pull up.
I need to know how the equipment crew knew whose shit was whose.
It was insane, Dan.
I've never seen anything like that.
Yep. It was absolutely
beautiful.
Insane. So we get there, and it's like we pull up to the valet, hand our bags and sticks to someone, and then walk through a red carpet, get interviewed 15 times, take a bunch of pics. Oh, we did a Go Kings Go thing. That'll be on.
Did that play?
Game. No, because it wasn't a Kings game. That's going to play at Kings
game. It's going to play. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tonight.
So we do the red carpet stuff, and I get to the locker room, and my stuff is everywhere, dude. Perfectly laid out. My sticks all lined up, and my every gear is hanging. Cubby right here for my elbow pads. Cubby up here for my helmet.
Sure.
Sick. And I had some wax and tape in my bag. So there's a drawer under your stall that you can pull out where they've put your bag. Mm-hmm. And I open that up and grab my wax and tape. And then I start to get dressed. And I don't see my gloves. And I'm like, oh, fuck, did I forget my gloves? But I know I triple-checked my bag that they were in there. So I start looking around my cubby everywhere. Because there's like a couple sliding doors up there. And I'm like, fuck. And then I'm like, did they lose my gloves? Like maybe they put them with your shit or like something. Because they clearly have gone through my bag. And now I'm like, I don't have fucking gloves. So I look over to Yance, who's right next to me, our good buddy Keith. And I go, Yance.
Did Yance prank you?
No. And I go, dude, I think they lost my gloves. And he goes, what do you mean? And I go, dude, look, like I looked everywhere in the stall and the drawer. They're not in there. And by the way, I should say I have my suit, which I wore a suit. Everyone saw that. I have my suit folded on my bench.
Yeah.
Yans goes, dude, like rolls his eyes. And there's right next to my stall, there's a thin, this wide cabinet.
Yeah.
And I open it up. He leans over me and goes, opens it up, where there's a hanger for your suit and my gloves. Uh-huh. And he goes, you ever been to the fucking show before, dude? The gloves are in the closet.
You idiot.
And I was like, what a plug, dude.
Yeah.
What an absolute dust.
Yeah. You've got to look,
dude,
tip to tape
I didn't know
before you
a
ask a question,
cabinet, dude.
Doesn't matter. You got to look.
He goes, leans over, opens the cabinet. He goes, ask me where your gloves are one more time, you fucking loser.
You absolute pigeon.
My shower sandals were in there. Everything was in there.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
And I was like, and I have to unfucking ball my suit, which
Yeah.
I've been sitting on, hang it up,
God.
take my gloves out.
Embarrassing.
Horrible.
I need to take a moment to say the sewer job that you gave me with that suit performance is insane.
Dude, I did it on purpose.
Oh, I know, dude.
did it on
Trust me, I know. Because I want to say this too. Shout out Tomer. He gave me so many flowers yesterday. I was on my bullshit yesterday, dude. That was a Jordan flu performance.
Oh, dude, it was crazy.
For those who are unaware, you all know, we've been on the road for 2 weeks with Montreal, Boston for Four Nations. Coincidentally, I had a wedding in Boston on Saturday. So I was like, I got to go to this wedding.
Yep.
So I stayed. You went home. Got to have a nice sleep in your own bed, unpack, get settled. I had to stay in Boston, go to this wedding. I got to stay in Boston and go to this wedding. But it was after 2 weeks of just nonstop. Like, I need to stop drinking. I need to stop staying up late. And now I'm at a wedding. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yep.
I wake up at the ass crack of dawn, and I get on a plane, a cross-country flight, Boston to LA.
Yeah.
I sleep on this plane the whole time. I'm dreaming that the plane is crashing because every plane is crashing in 2025.
Yeah, it's not good, dude.
And I get to LA, and God bless him, Redmond in my car arrives, picks me up at the airport, and I drive straight from the airport to Crypto to play in this game.
Unbelievable.
Thank God I'm a man of class and I fly in human clothes.
Yep.
because I pull up in my car to the valet at Crypto, and whose car is in front of me? Yours. And this Benedict Arnold, this Judas, steps out in a suit. And I was like, are you shitting me, dude? Like, the biggest sewer job in the world. Couldn't have given me a heads up. Hey, by the way, I'm wearing a suit tomorrow.
Yep.
Maybe dress semi-nice.
Yep.
Thank God I dressed fine.
Yep.
But that was bullshit. And if you don't think I'm getting you back for that somehow, dude, you're out of your mind.
Dude,
next time you're like this, hey, like what are we doing for that? I'm going to absolutely job you, dude.
Dude, so 2 things happened to me, Dan. One, I was like, oh, it's kind of fun. Like it's game day, baby. Wear a suit to the rink. That'd be cool. And 2, you dress so nicely all the time. Like there were so many nights out in Montreal where you're in a fucking pea coat duster with your scarf in a fucking knot I don't know how to tie and like designer shades. And I'm like, I actually expected you to be wearing something like that. Like I actually expected you to get off the out of that car. My fear was the reverse was going to happen. Like you were going to get out of the car and you're fucking swag out shit. And I was going to be in like that hoodie. And I was like, oh, this is going to be tough. So then you got out in the sweater and I was like, oh, overdid it, overcooked it. But no regrets. I was actually really pleased.
Of course.
To have that.
I noticed that you were a coward after though when we went to the Delta Club. You came out in your sweatshirt and joggers.
Dude, I was just kind of wet still.
Yeah, no,
I didn't want to like stop. Yeah, I was like, okay. And then my last favorite thing. I haven't even told you this yet. I don't think. And I will get Redmond in here to back this up because I swear to God this happened. This is the fucking craziest thing that's ever happened to me.
I don't need the backup. I trust you. I believe you.
I finished the last game.
Okay.
And I was kind of like lingering on the ice, talking to a few people, and I come off the ice, and I was one of the last people off. Just about everybody is off and in their locker rooms. And as I come out, I run into Feline, and she is like, "Hey, is Taylor in the locker room?" And I was like, "Yep, he is. I'll bring him out there." But she had some friends there, so I'm hello. I'm talking to her friends. As I'm talking to Phil, someone walks by me. There's media everywhere and shit.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. Someone walks behind me because I'm just in that hallway. And then as they go by me, they get to this side, stop, and kind of like look at me and then hit me on the shoulder. And I thought I was just kind of getting jostled, so I kept talking. And then they hit me again. They're like, "Hey," to get my attention. And I turn to the person, and the person goes, "Hey, so great to see you." And I go, "Oh, yeah, great to see you too." Boom. And then I kind of just looked back to Feline because I was like talking, and I should have lingered. But I was like, "Oh, yeah, thanks for grabbing me. Great to see you too." They walk away. I finished with Feline. Red was right there. I walk towards our locker room. And Red goes, "Dude, how do you know
blank?"
Because like they saw you, stopped, tapped you twice, and then said, "So great to see you." And I go, I've never met that person. Like it was like, what? Would you like to guess who it was?
Gary?
No. Great guess.
Because Gary made a great. Can I do a quick aside?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Gary, I had like said it a couple times in our locker room, and I don't know if it got to him or something, but we got off the ice, and Gary came up to me and tapped me on the back, and he's like, "Hey, look great out there. Might have to give you a fine for the no bucket warm up, though."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't Gary.
He was. It was a he. He.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn, Dan.
What?
Bro, I am actually positive. I'm actually too scared to even discuss this because I now think he thinks I was someone else. Like it was all a mistake.
Had to have been.
But dude, he literally like went by, hit me on the shoulder. I didn't stop talking to Phil, and he hit me. He like shook me again, and I go like this, and he goes, "So great to see you." And I was like,
"It's good to be seen,
dude." And that's why I didn't talk longer because I was so rattled. Because I was like,
"Yeah, like you don't want to go like this
too.
You've never seen me. Dude. This is the first that you've seen me,
dude." I was like, and now, Dan,
is it good to see me for the first time,
bro? Now I'm like, is there? He's definitely a hockey fan.
Oh yeah.
And if you're a hockey fan, dude, he doesn't have a phone though. He like famously doesn't even have a cell phone. So like I don't even know if he has IG.
Yeah, but he's got people in his life that show him stuff.
So I was gonna say there's a world where he's like, because if you are a hockey fan, you see us eventually just because of your algo by accident.
You've seen us,
even if you don't even like us, you see us. So if I know he's a hockey fan. And remember on the pod, dude, after I finished Bad Monkey, we did that whole thing where I was like, who's actually even better than him?
Yeah,
we did a whole Glaze job.
A worthy Glaze job.
Worthy completely. So now I'm like, maybe he's like, no, that's my boy right there. That's my boy right there.
This guy supports me.
He only has Jim Carrey ahead of me.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what I'm saying, dude. So anyway, dude, that
maybe Vince is a fan of the pod.
That was literally the peak of my night when he goes, "Hey, great to see you." And I was like, "Bro, it is actually awesome to see you too." And I was so pissed because he was the coach of the red team that won, and he was on the ice after. And I just felt like a knobhead going up to him, said, "Hey, great to meet you." So I just didn't, and I was like, "Bummer, I didn't meet Vince Vaughn when he was right there."
Dude, you know what? It's so funny. Admittedly, we have the absolute pleasure of being around many wonderful people like that. But I have always kind of maintained this, like, it's a combination of a too cool for school. I don't really ask for pictures. I don't really do. I don't want to do stuff like that. But it's more so I love these, or many of them. I love these people as people, and I want them to just feel like people as often as possible. And I don't want to add to the bombardment that they get. But then at the same time, when we are in our small circle of hockey and fans come up and they're like, "Hey, I want to," I'm like, nothing makes me happier. And that was big at the end of the game in the locker room with Steve. I was like, "Dude, D partners, we got to get," and he was like, "Let's get a picture." And I was like,
"Dude, I didn't know." I was gonna ask you how that came about because I know it's hard. It's like kind of
no, dude. He like took the words out of my mouth. He was like, we need a picture," and I was like, "We need a picture." And then he was like, "I let you down though," and I was like, "Dude."
No, red team was wagging.
You have made my life, sir.
You know what? I wanted to make some kind of Gretzky's office. It used to be Gretzky. I wanted Steve to be posted up behind the net at one point, and I would have said,
"The office."
It used to be Gretzky's office.
No, it's
Michael Scott's.
No,
but that never happened. But I was ready for that.
God, what a time!
Yep,
what a time! Again, huge love to the Kings. We're all guys. If you can, we'll put the link in our bio to donate. It's super important and helpful to the LA community. It would mean the world. So awesome of the Kings to do that. We raised a ton of money, had so many great people out there. So again, we'll throw it up on the episode. We'll throw it in our bio and our socials, and it would mean a lot. Let's get into some hockey talk, dude.
Pausing the pod quickly to talk to you guys about our favorite partners over at Dollar Shave Club. Dollar Shave Club does everything. That's what I love about them. It's actually insane. They do everything, no matter if you're growing a beard a day, if you're growing a beard every 2 weeks like me, if you're growing a beard once in your life, actually never in your life like Dan. Sorry, Dan. But they do everything. And they make the razors, and you make the rules, so you can do whatever you want. They've got all kinds of cool razors and cool ordering options and delivery times and everything. They've got the Club Series 6 blade razor right now, which is actually unbelievable. Easily the best shave I've had in my life. So you can check that out. But they have so many other products. That's what's awesome. Here's my routine. We do the pre-scrub, okay? Get everything exfoliated, get me ready to go. Then the shave butter. They've got shave cream too, but the shave butter is just like insane. So it's like butter. It's so smooth, hydro glide, and it's translucent. So you can see. I'm not guessing. I'm not just whipping that Series 6 around. I know exactly where I'm going. And then you do the post-shave do. Then you hit the post-shave do. And you feel like $1,000,000, and then you go have your day, and you go do your interview, or you go it on camera in a podcast, whatever you got to do, but you look fantastic, okay? So if you want to get involved with Dollar Shave Club, I want you to go check it out. They're available everywhere now. On Amazon, on their website, retailers near you, and when you do, you can, or you can go online, and you go to www.dollarshaveclub.com/netters, and you can get 20% off any order of $20 or more. You don't want to miss out on that. Are you kidding me? For the best shave of your life, go check out dollarshaveclub.com/netters right now.
I see no other place that we can start than coming right back into the season from Four Nations. Also hilarious that guys like Larks, Crosby, like these guys Dewey, they just jump onto the Dewey 3-point night. Sid gets a goal. Larks has a 2-point. Like it's just insane. But Ovi chasing down Wayno, needs 16 goals, gets a hattie on Sunday night.
Dude, and their first game back.
What a ridiculous man this guy is.
Their first game back, I think they tagged the Penguins.
They did. 8-3.
And he didn't score.
Yeah, and they were trying to set him up a lot.
And I remember thinking, I was like, oh no, maybe this, because he didn't obviously play in Four Nations, and I was like, maybe this rest just like, he didn't need that, dude. He was scorching, and now it's like, he's a little time off. So I was worried after that first game, and then bang, Hattie. Immediate Hattie. 57 games played for the Caps. 25 games left.
Yeah.
Needs 12?
13, I think.
Needs 13. Is it 13 to break, though?
Ooh, yeah, I think so. He needs to break. We need to stop talking about tying, dude. Like, he needs to break.
You would become the
co-leader.
Yeah.
But
so, yeah, 13 to break. So 12. 12 goals in 25 games.
He needs 13.
That actually now feels like it would be disappointing if it doesn't happen.
Agree.
Like, we are now in territory of, like, buddy.
Yeah, like, he's got to do it.
And that is fucking wild.
He's got to do it.
Also, little secret sauce for the people at home here, Dan. Some NHL camera crew came into my locker room in between games, or maybe after the game, and walks up to Mess, and I was like, "Oh, do you need me?" And they were like, "No, we don't. We need Mark Messier." And they go, just right into the camera here. Mark, ready? 3, 2, 1. And he goes, "Mark Messier here. Hey, Alex Ovechkin, just wanted to say congratulations on becoming the NHL's all-time goal leader."
Wow.
And I was like, oh, shit. They're banking.
They're banking.
They're banking footage.
I
Who
mean,
else
dude.
have they reached out to, dude? Who else has said this? Wayne?
Definitely.
So that's interesting, bro.
Yeah.
He's got 29 tucks this year. We need 42 goal season.
Yeah, 42 goal season with a huge injury, a broken leg injury.
Yeah, he broke his leg.
He literally the man broke his leg.
That's 42 goals.
Jesus
42
Christ.
goals, Dan. He broke his leg.
Absolutely insane, dude. Absolutely insane.
And I think he has to.
Yeah,
Hey,
I mean,
can we just look at their schedule?
yeah.
Sorry,
Check
my
out their
fucking
schedule. But
computer's
honestly,
glitching.
I don't think it matters. This team is a wagon. Carberry has them cooking. LT is a machine in net, and he's just getting it done. Like you said, a shellacking of the Penguins. He doesn't get on the score sheet, and you're like, oh shit. And then he comes out in the next game, has a hat. He makes up for it. He needs 25 games. You said he basically needs a goal every other game.
25 games.
God, some of these multi-goal games are going to be.
Well, that's the
Just
real
so
kicker,
clutch.
Dan. Okay, so they've got. It's not gonna happen right away. So let's go. That's 2 games. So let's get into March here. How many games do you think he does it in? 25 games left.
23.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think it's going to go to the wire.
Okay.
Now, if he goes on a fucking heater and he just starts scoring multiple goals, if he does it with like 10 games left, it'll be the most badass thing in the world. I think it takes him the rest of the season.
Okay. Here's his.
This schedule doesn't matter, dude.
No, it doesn't matter. I'm seeing who it's gonna happen against.
Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
April 1st, which is gonna
Give me the last 5 games of the season.
I'm gonna give you the last 9. With
9?
yeah,
9?
You could do it. 9 games left in the season at Boston. 8 games left in the season at Carolina. 7 games left in the season home versus Chicago.
That would be pretty cool.
6 games left in the season at Long Island.
No.
5 games left in the season home versus Carolina.
Cool.
Home, though. Home.
Cool, yeah.
Then at Columbus, 4th to last game. Home versus Columbus, 3rd to last game, which is where you predicted. That's 23 games home. So he's home on 23, 21, and 19.
Okay.
Finishes on the road.
Shit.
For the rest of the season on the road. So
But
sad. 24th and second to last game at
Pitt.
the Islanders.
Oh.
25th and last game of
At
the
Pitt?
season at Pitt.
He's got to do it there, dude. He's got to do it there.
Can you imagine?
In the house that Crosby built,
If he
dude?
does it in the house that Crosby built, well, Crosby can celebrate with him.
Crosby will,
Oh,
too.
100% dude.
There'll be a sick moment where Crosby goes up to him and gives him a
Yeah.
hug. Oh, my God. What if he does it? What if he does it on an empty net?
What if he does it on an empty netter at
The greatest empty net goal of all time.
We talked about this, dude. I'm now rooting for
Oh, my God.
at Pitt or home against Buffalo on March 30th, because that means he scores like 12, 13 goals in the next 10 games. And
Yeah,
I'm
that'd
like,
be
you're
insane.
a fucking freak.
All right, this is cool. We got to keep eyes on that.
Very sick, dude.
We were talking about Ovi's injury. Let's get to another injury. And then a larger question.
Yep.
Matthew Tkachuk, possibly done for the season. We got a little whisper of news. So did a lot of other people, but looks like his injury is not great. Could possibly shut him down for the rest of the regular season, possibly into playoffs too. The Panthers organization has said that they're not worried. They're not worried about Matthew. That's great. You wonder if that's a bit of lip service, but either way, Matthew is going to miss a significant amount of time here in the rest of the regular season. You brought up the question with guys like him, guys like Shea Theodore in Vegas, missing time from injuries at Four Nations, now going back to your club. People are saying, oh no, is that going to hurt this tournament moving forward? Discuss.
I think if you asked any of the guys that are hurt, would you trade it? Would you not play? Especially even knowing the result. Like even knowing you lose to Canada in the final, would you trade it? I think they would say literally 0% no. That was incredible and all that stuff.
Completely agree.
And I hope everybody feels that. I hope every hockey fan feels that way, including fans of these teams. Like, I hope Florida Panthers fans are like, that was worth it. But one thing I do think is a conversation is, dude, when you're watching football, if you're a fan of an NFL team, I always joke about this with football GM must be the hardest job because you build a team for playoffs and then you know that a third of that team is going to have a season-ending injury at some point and you're not even going to have them. And you just hope it's not the most important guys,
Yeah.
I think if we keep up these international mid-season breaks, rotating between a World Cup, Olympics, maybe they mix in a Four Nations here and there, whatever it is, this is part of the conversation where you're like, at minimum, every other year in the middle of the season, we're going to lose guys to injury.
Yeah.
Because they're going playoff level intensity.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. These guys get hurt in the playoffs every year. Not sometimes. Every single year during playoffs, guys get badly hurt and they play through it because it's for the fucking cup. And then they get surgery in the offseason. Now you're injecting a playoff level atmosphere in the middle of every other season at minimum.
Yeah.
And you are going to lose guys.
Yeah.
And I think you just have to accept that as a fan base and as a GM. Because I have, but that is now a huge factor where you go, God, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies.
Yeah.
Because you're like, fuck, we're going to lose someone huge.
Buddy, I don't even need to talk. You said everything that I wanted to say.
Do you want to say this, though? Do you want to talk about this? Because I actually had this extra ripple effect. I won't be shocked at all if Theo goes on long-term IR and Vegas signs someone else. I won't be shocked at all if Matthew Tkachuk goes on long-term IR and the Panthers sign somebody else.
Dude,
I now think long-term IR might get put under a more serious spotlight because every other year, 5 major stars go down and the team's like, sick.
Dude, but you know what pisses me off? I don't want it to go away.
Me neither.
All of the people, like when I tweeted out, I was like, Matthew Tkachuk could miss significant time. Millions of LTIR. There's actually a couple things I want to bring up with that. Millions of LTIR comments. I said that when I tweeted about Shea Theodore breaking his wrist, millions of LTIR comments. And I'm like, it goes back to the like, dude, so many people go, well, it's not an advantage that every team has. And I'm like, well, it's not an advantage that they have if someone doesn't get injured and you don't want people to get injured. And again, you guys need to remember, in order to do something significant, a significant cap hit needs to get injured, which almost always means a significant player is injured. And it's like we say, you have to be good enough without your incredible player in the roster to still make the playoffs for this to work. So I don't get why we complain about it. I think it's a really cool element of the game. And then it's also like the next season, you've got to figure it out.
Yeah.
You can't keep all these players. You got to make trades. You got to rework, or not rework contracts, but you got to move around contracts. I think it's a really interesting element of the game.
The only thing I'll push back on is because the Kucherov one, for example, he missed the entire year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the Lightning made the playoffs without him.
Yes.
All the credit to them. The tricky thing about these tournaments is they happen so late where it sounds like, and I hope, just for the competitive of the game, that Matthews is fine. And he's like, his injury is not a big deal. And it sounds like it's not that bad.
Can I clarify that?
Yep.
It sounds like he's fine in terms of he could come back for playoffs.
Thank you.
Like, dude,
thank you. That's what I meant. Yes.
Yeah. I'm so, and you're not saying this.
Yep.
I am so sick of the people who are like, he's not even fucking hurt.
Yep.
Dude, do you have any, it sounds like it's a groin with Matthew. Do you have any idea how debilitating a groin injury is? And if you don't, kindly shut the fuck up saying that he's not injured.
Especially in a sport like hockey.
And all these fucking hardos on Twitter, these tough guys being like, oh, I thought that was supposed to be USA's big macho tough guy. And they're dogging him for a groin injury playing in a Four Nations tournament. You're a fucking, you're an idiot.
He tore his groin.
You're an idiot.
So what I was going to say is it's not that hard for the Panthers to make the playoffs anymore.
Yeah.
Right now. That's all I meant. Like the Lightning, you played the whole season without Kucherov. I'm like, good for you. And you should get the luxury of this. For the Panthers, you get to go, we could just shut down Matthew right now, sign someone, we'll definitely make the playoffs and whatever. So it's like with the later season tournaments, it opens up long-term IR more.
Yeah,
Is all
for
I'll
sure.
push back.
The last thing I want to talk about on this is we've talked about this before on the pod, I think. I'm not trying to change anyone's opinion here. I don't get the hate for Matthew Tkachuk.
Me neither, dude. He's sick.
If you're Canadian and you wanted to play into the rival USA-Canada rivalry and they're the instigators and you're doing that thing, okay. But, I'm popping on Twitter and there are people tweeting things like USA fans who are like, oh, there was a silver lining to us losing. It's Matthew Tkachuk's hurt and possibly done for the season.
I think it's got to be.
You're a douchebag, first of all.
Yeah.
To say something like that, you're a
True.
douchebag. Like, wishing injury upon someone is insane. I don't get it. I don't get the hate for him. And there's a difference between actively admitting, I hate this guy because he's on a team that is a rival of my team. But if he were on my team, I would love him.
Yeah.
That's not real hate. That's respect hate. Yep. That's like But there are people who just are like, he's such a cheap shot piece of crap. Blah 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 blah. I don't get that. And what really bothers me is the Hagel fight.
Yeah.
So many people go, oh, Matthew Tkachuk finds the smallest guy on the ice. One, you're insulting Brandon Hagel.
Yeah, dude, ricochet.
Massive ricochet.
Yeah.
Like they have history with Tampa and Florida. They're both really tough, nailsy type players.
Also, and I said this, he can't fight Bennett.
Correct.
Everybody was like, why didn't he play Bennett? I'm like, they're on the same fucking
They're
team.
boys.
Dude. Like, they can't fight Bennett.
And let's talk about this, dude. This is what really pisses me off. People talk about Matthew Tkachuk like he's Ryan Reeves.
Yeah.
They're like,
how tall is he?
Dude, Matthew Tkachuk is listed at 6'2", 203. And first of all, Matthew, don't get mad at me. 6'2", yeah.
In your bra.
In your bra. Matthew is not 6'2". Brandon Hagel is listed at 6'2", 179.
Yeah.
So, like, anyone being like the smallest, they are listed at the exact same height.
Yeah. Give it up.
They're both super tough, awesome players. And then this is the thing we've talked about before that really pisses me off. Matthew Tkachuk is a career point-per-game player. 642 games played, 636 points.
Yeah.
He is a 100-point scorer in the past. He has 57 points in 52 games this year. He is a all-star.
Yeah,
he is an
nasty.
all-star level player. And people who talk about him in this, like, even think about like a guy like Tom Wilson, who's a great player. Tom Wilson is not putting up the numbers Matthew Tkachuk is putting up.
Yeah, right.
And people expect him to fight guys like Tom Wilson. And I'm like, you don't understand the unicorn Tom Wilson is. And
Agree.
The fact that Matthew Tkachuk is this high-level caliber all-star type player and is willing to fight as much as he is, that is what pisses me off when people don't respect that. And then they talk about him in this, oh, yeah, he's just a rat scumbag.
he's
and I'm
a
like,
bully.
oh, he's a rat scumbag who's going to get you 100 points? Yeah, bet you would like that guy.
Yeah, I'd
on your
love
team.
that dude.
So I just do not get it, man. And again, if it's a respect hate and you're like, I hate him because he's so good and he's also a shit stirrer, understand. But if you're one of these losers online who's wishing injury upon him and actually being like, saying things like he's a scumbag piece of shit who doesn't belong in the league, get out of hockey, dude. You just don't get it.
Couldn't be more on your side. Looking at his stats, -3 this year. Weird.
Weird. Very weird.
Very weird.
Got to clean that up.
Plus 57.
So we
3 years
agree
ago.
we don't give a hell about injuries in Four Nations. It's not going to affect the Four Nations tournament at all. Nor
Yes.
should it.
Oh, dude.
It's just
It's just going to happen.
a bummer.
This is a thing that it's happened in the NFL. This is a thing that happens now. A couple star players are going to get a pretty significant knock playing for their country.
Yeah.
Fucking deal.
All right, last thing before we move on. Let's talk about some trades.
Yep.
We're not doing our trade deadline preview or anything
Yep.
like that, but just a couple of things that have sort of popped up. First one, there have been reports that Brad Marchand,
Yep.
they're working on an extension. The talks are ongoing.
Yes.
He has said a million times he'll do everything to stay in Boston. However, Boston comes out of Four Nations, loses a brutal game in OT to the Ducks, which has accelerated the conversations of what is Boston doing at the deadline, and Brad has popped up.
And Hampus Lindholm out for the season.
Yep.
Just announced. Charlie McAvoy out indefinitely.
Yep.
Like, it feels very much
Gonna be
as
tough
though
sledding.
This team is not making playoffs.
Yep.
Brad has said, you just said he wants to stay here. it's tricky, man, because I have so much love for him, both as a human being, just who knows him now, but also just as like take that hat off, just as a Bruins fan. You're like, what a guy, what an honor to watch him play. Brought us so much success. I'm so thrilled he got to wear the C in this city.
Yep.
I don't want him to not be a Bruin, but dude, I'm kind of like, wouldn't it be more? I want Brad to chase a cup. Like, I want Brad to be on a good team, and I also, if it helps the Bruins rebuild, because Brad's not part of the future. He's what? How old is he? Did you say
36?
36. You know, so I'm like, he's probably got a couple more years left that he wants to play.
Yeah.
So you know, I think maybe we've talked about this in our backyard, but you've kind of said it to me where I'm like, it's up to him in a way. Like, if he's like, dude, I don't want to leave, please. Same thing with Sid, right? Like, if Sid's like, dude, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
Then fine. But I'm like, dude, if Brad doesn't care that much, if he's just saying that I want to retire a Bruin for the press, and behind closed doors he's like, I would go, then I'm like, then fucking trade him.
Yeah, it's probably a combo, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need to say this, but you know, Brad knows this. Could not love him more as a person, as a player. I always want people to be career Bruins. You look at Bergie, who I think is, you know, one of his best friends and an idol as far as you look at career. Bergie got to hang it up with Boston. That's amazing. But I do just think Bergie's last year, there was a better shot than what Brad. Like, the fact that this team's possibly about to miss the playoffs, injuries aside.
I know, Dan.
I think it's evaluation time, dude.
Yeah.
It's evaluation time. And if Don Sweeney and Cam Neely are good at their jobs, they will look at this team with an objective lens, and they will go, are we good enough to make a cup run? I'm telling you right now, it ain't happening this year.
Duh.
Are we good enough to make a cup run next year? And you've got some tricky contracts, man. Cap's going up, that's great. But you've got some tricky contracts, and I think they genuinely need to have that conversation. Like, is the window closed? No, but is a retool necessary? Personally, I think yes. A retool.
A retool. Yep.
And there's a world where part of that retool is, hey, Brad, do you want a cup chase? I don't know if he will, but if he does,
then let him.
Let him.
If he does. Yep.
I think that's a great trade to Florida.
Yeah.
A great trade
Vegas.
to Colorado. Go play with Nate. A great trade to Vegas.
I wish Pitt was better. Or I wish him and Sid could go somewhere. That'd be so sick.
Win a cup. Win a cup somewhere. And it's the same thing that we've talked about a million times with Sid, so I don't need to drone on.
Yep.
But it could help Boston, and it could do something great for Brad, and it's all about what he wants.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do just think it's one of those things where, you know, it's the message we've been giving to Pitt fans. I'm giving it to Boston fans now. If that happens,
be happy, dude.
Be nothing but happy. Just wish him well, and know that it's does everyone want you to stay here forever? Absolutely. But if you want to go for another cup, it might not be happening in Boston the next couple of years, because he's going to turn 37 in May. You've got 2 more, 3 more.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, it is such
It's crazy how good he is still.
I know.
For being an undersized guy about to turn 37 years old, being this insanely effective and talented in the NHL. I mean, I can't say enough good things about him. It's unbelievable.
It's awesome. It is such I want what he wants, because if he wants to stay, I'm like, never mind. I'd rather we just lose you for free and you ride out missing playoffs the last 3 years. Whereas there are some guys on the team where I'm like, you need to be traded. And it's not what I don't care what you want.
He absolutely, and I know Pitt fans are saying the same thing. They're probably screaming listening to this, but like 100%, like I understand being like, no, yeah, maybe it would be good for Boston. You get a first round pick, you do what you will. The other side is just extend him and let him just finish out. We missed the playoffs, or we losing the first round. And I'm like, this whatever. Seeing him in just one jersey his whole career is so worth it.
Yeah,
I get that big time. The other trade that we need to discuss before we get into the big stuff is Mikko Rantanen. There are rumblings going on that Mikko Rantanen is not going to re-sign in Carolina, to the point where Carolina is so aware of it, and the talks have gone so nowhere that they are going, do we need to trade this guy at the deadline? I am here to say 2 things. Number 1, I borderline don't care what the return is. If the Carolina Hurricanes trade Mikko Rantanen at the deadline, they need to fold the franchise.
Dude, I agree, because first of all, it's going to be fucking bad, because everybody knows he's only on the block because he's told you he's not re-signing. They can just wait for him for what, a couple more months and then just sign him for free. Like you are going to get rinsed a la JT Miller with this deal.
Yeah.
Also, you can't have this happen 2 years in a row. But just hear me out here. The Gensel one, you go, we got him. He's going to help us in the playoffs, and we might re-sign him. We're going to try really hard.
Yeah.
And then I forget what they even said. I think they were like, that was more than we thought he was going to go for. Like, you got a better deal. Whatever. Fine. If that same thing happens this year, that's very bad and embarrassing. But, dude, to not even ride him through the playoffs and see, like, to literally lose him now, dude, I'm like, what in the flying fuck is going on? You had Natchez under contract, dude.
So this is my thing with Tulsky. Eric Tulsky, GM of the Carolina Hurricanes. Part of me thinks that, and we're speculating here.
Yeah, maybe.
Part of me thinks it's ballsy. If you're like, he's not re-signing, and you're like, fuck this, I'm trading you. Part of me is like, good job. The other part of me is like, why the fuck did you trade for this guy? If like, did you not have these conversations? Did you not? I know it happened very quickly.
And it makes me think no.
Definitely
That makes me
no.
believe how
Definitely
blindsided
no.
they all say they
like
were.
they kind of worked, behind the scenes. It sounds like he didn't talk to Rantanen at all,
Yeah.
and he was just like, he'll resign here, and it's possible that Rantanen right now is like, this absolutely.
I'm going
not,
back to
dude.
Colorado,
Like,
dude.
He's like, I'm not resigning here. So it's one of those things that we always talk about. It's like, it's actually exactly what it was in Colorado, where I was like, if you get a whiff that he's not resigning, you have to trade him. And now this is happening in Carolina.
Yeah.
Insane.
But it cost you Natchez in a first.
But what's interesting about Carolina
second or
is
whatever it
it's a smaller market
Yeah.
team. It's not necessarily a big hockey city. Raleigh is maybe not the biggest destination, but Raleigh's lovely. A lot of people, Seth loves living there. When you have guys that you drafted like Natchez, Netchie and Seth are best friends.
Yep.
That's a guy you probably should have kept and probably should have given him an 8-year fucking deal, because now you have two superstars staying rather than trading for one that you hope is going to resign, and it turns out within a month he's like, I'm not going to. Like I said, I don't care what you get for him. This optically is just one of the worst looks I've ever seen. And yeah, man, if you trade him, you also are admitting to the league, we don't think we can win a cup with just him.
Yeah, right. 'Cause
Like you're going. Wouldn't you say to Carolina fans, if you won a cup this year and then he walked for free, is it worth it? I think most would say, absolutely, we got a
100%.
cup.
Yep.
But you're admitting we don't think we can win a cup right now.
It's too hard. It's too risky.
And here's my next thing. I asked you and Laz last year if the Carolina Hurricanes lose or get swept, is Rod on the hot seat? And everyone said absolutely not. He is there for life. And I think that is the case.
Because he takes less money.
Because he takes less money.
Like,
He
I don't
loves
care.
being in Carolina. And he is a good coach.
Yep.
I think it is a bit alarming that you now have many all-stars who have played for this guy who are like, I do not like the way I'm forced to play under this man. And you look at Mikko's numbers since he has been in Carolina, and they are not good. And you now hear that there's a chance that he's like, I am not resigning here. And this is all speculation. We could wake up tomorrow and get slapped in the mouth and see that he is extended.
Yeah.
But if that is the case, you start to wonder, like, dude, this is hurting the team.
Dude, I guess all I have to say is I stand by my stance that he is there for life, and dude, they're just so weird in the playoffs, because I'm like, I look at that team right now, even though all this like before the Rantanen, we might trade him.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? They're good.
Yeah.
And they're gonna, like, would they get Jersey in the first round? Like, fucking okay, like you can beat Jersey probably.
Yeah.
And then I've gone back and forth on Washington, but like if Washington gets clipped, you're like, oh, that's not that much of a shocker. And then would I pick the Canes to lose in the Eastern Conference Finals to Florida? Yeah.
Yes.
But I'm like, that's not that bad. You're in the fucking semifinals. So
I know.
It's just like, it's a shit show, dude.
I know.
They have to win. They just have to win.
They have to.
And like this fucking musical chairs act, I don't know, is the way that builds the locker room chemistry.
It is crazy, man. So that is
Here's the good news, dude. They have Jacob Slavin. So,
dude,
nothing matters.
Nothing matters. You have literally the best player on earth on your team. All right, now we are going to kick it to our elite interview today. Logan Thompson, the best goalie in the NHL right now for the Washington Capitals, lighting the world on fire. Cannot wait for you to hear from him.
I was so excited to hang
Me
with him.
too.
And dude, it delivers in the biggest way. And him calling me out for Vegas. Actually, I kind of call him out.
Yeah,
but then
and he was like, "Oh, I didn't want you to bring that up."
Yeah. So
good.
Oh man, what a stud! What a guy!
What a guy.
Yeah, this will be good.
Enjoy, folks. Let me tell you, the joy that I felt when we became Bauer partners is unmatched in my life as a lifelong hockey guy. Playing, watching, just enjoying the game. Bauer is synonymous with that world and that feeling because they are the gold standard when it comes to hockey equipment and apparel. And God, let me tell you what, being able to rep Bauer is one of the greatest joys of my life. Bauer has been making some of the best gear from the beginning of time. They are just what hockey needs in every sense because they're getting you the best wheels, the best gloves, the best equipment, and the best sticks. And specifically, I want to talk about that Twitch. The new Bauer Twitch is taking hockey sticks to the next level. All of the technology that has gone into this stick when it comes to the kick point, the release, how light it is, the way you feel when you're stick handling, and the way that puck flies off your blade is like nothing I've ever experienced, and I'm just a beer league hero. If you are playing the game at a nice elite level, you're trying to make it to the show, you're just getting into hockey, doesn't matter. Twitch is going to take your game to the next level. It's just the way Bauer does it with everything. It's unbelievable. We played in a nice celebrity game just recently here in LA. It was an unreal cause. And I got to give my sticks away to a nice young fan. And the joy that I had when this kid looked at me and thought I was someone special because he saw the way I was wheeling around on the ice because of my Bauer equipment and that Twitch in my hands. And he said, "Can I get your stick?" And I signed it and I gave it to him, and it was the best feeling in the world. And you know what? Bauer made that possible for me. So you're going to go to BauerHockey.com and you're going to check out all of the unreal gear that they have that's going to take your game to the next level, and get yourself a Twitch while you're at it and take your shot to the elite NHL caliber it can be.
We are joined today by a Calgary, Alberta native, an undrafted hidden gem who got his NHL start with the Vegas Golden Knights, currently dominating between the pipes for the Washington Capitals, a Canadian University Goalie of the Year, a Baz Memorial Award winner, a World Championship silver medalist, an NHL All-Star, and a Stanley Cup champion. Logan Thompson, welcome to the Empty Netters podcast.
Oh, thanks for having me. That was long. I didn't expect that.
That's pretty sick, dude. That's a pretty sick resume, actually.
Yeah, dude. Like, you think it's going to stop, and then it keeps going, keeps building. And you're like, I've done some pretty good shit here, man. Let's go. Dude, I want to give some stick taps to you for the people at home listening so they know you're doing this with us on a Saturday. That is dedication. Like, this is just, this might be a first.
I think you're right.
Yeah. So, like, you're one in a million, buddy. Like, giving us some time on your Saturday, that's special.
Yeah, no, I had tons of plans, so no guys, canceling for you guys.
Well, dude, I want to give you a huge congrats on the new deal. It's amazing, good stuff.
Well, thank you.
I gotta ask, have you treated yourself yet? Have you gotten yourself anything nice, or are you waiting to put a little thought into it?
Probably gonna put some thought into it. I think I want to buy a house this summer, so I think that's kind of will be my next purchase. Hopefully,
nice. Smart,
practical,
smart, calculated. It's just good vibes there. I like that.
Yeah, no, that'll be my next purchase, I think.
There we go. Yeah, I love it.
Okay, dude, we want to start with your early days, and honestly, man, doing the research about you, you have one of the coolest stories of all time of how you got here, even more in depth than we thought when we were digging in. So usually I tee up so much stuff, but I kind of just want to give you the floor. Can you just talk about the journey from Brandon to Brock, all the stops along the way, and just touch on how important it was for you to keep believing in yourself, but also to have people believing in you like Scott Murray and Alex Westland, and tell me how close you were to actually becoming an Uber Eats driver.
So I got drafted to the Wheat Kings at the time. Like, I never knew where Brandon was, didn't know anything about it. I was excited. I thought it'd be like Calgary. I was expecting this huge stadium, like the Saddle Dome. And when I got there, it was a little under, like, didn't know what to expect, but I was there for 5 years, and I love my time in Brandon. Played for Kelly McCrimmon for all those years. He was a head coach, GM, and owner. And then, unfortunately aged out of junior, never had any pro offers. I had an invite to the Washington Capitals camp. And at the time they had so many goalies that when I got there was already 6 guys in their contract. So they just said, yeah, there's just no room. And so that's what led me to Brock. And I didn't want to go to Brock because I thought my career was done. I wanted to have some fun. And I just wanted to switch up kind of where I was living. I was on the kind of the WHL side for so long. So I said, let's go to, Niagara and switch it up and have some fun playing hockey. And that's kind of where I fell in love with the game again. And Marty Williamson, my coach, really helped me, make that decision to try pro. And he helped me along the way, and he was okay with it. And he helped me, find teams, and he was trying to bring scouts to our games. And a lot of credit goes to him.
Dude, when you are at Brock, because I read that you were like, I might do sports management, like, because Dubas went there, right? Did I have that right? Yeah. So you're like, oh, I'll become a GM. Like, that's awesome. When, like, how did the switch happen where you were playing so well? Obviously, you win goalie of the year, but you're playing so well that you're like, well, sports management is cool, but I still could make it. Was it hard to keep the pro dream alive? How was that mentally for you?
Yeah, I think when I got there, I was like, okay, well, I'm a student now, so it was definitely hard to get back. But no, it was good. I mean, we had a really good team. Marty, coached us well, and we had a lot of vets, and so we had a good overall year as a team. And I was pretty fortunate to play with them. And kind of halfway throughout the year, I was realizing that I'm starting to like hockey and want to kind of keep this going. And that's kind of when I got the idea of maybe let's at the end of the year try and go to the coast. And that's kind of a decision I made up with myself. And I'd talk it over with Marty and with my agent. And they just said, if you're going to do it now, because you don't want to have any regrets. And that's kind of when I made my decision kind of halfway through the year that I was going to leave. And they were okay with it. And again, I really appreciate, them being okay with it.
Was it hard at all? Or were you like, no, I'm 100% trying the coast? Or were you like, this is risky?
Oh, it's for sure risky, right? Because you have your 4 or 5 free years of schooling, and as soon as you go to pro, it's gone. So it was definitely risky. And in the East Coast, your contract can be terminated. Yeah, right. Like at any time. So if I go in there and have one bad game, then I get cut. Then I don't know what to do. So it was definitely risky, and I was nervous. I was scared, but luckily it paid out.
Yeah, then you get cut. Then you're driving Uber Eats. Like,
then you're driving Uber Eats.
Would you say that your confidence at Brock just like slowly rose more and more and more as the year went on? Because even that is kind of an untraditional route, which makes your story so much cooler. But it sounds like you got to Brock and you were playing well, having fun, and it seems like, was it almost like every game you were like, no, this is great. This is going well. I want to keep going. I want to maybe look at the coast and then try to make it pro.
Yeah, no, and for sure. And once I kind of, every time I went to a league, I was always nervous of, how well I was going to play and if I could play and if I could be consistent and good enough. And once I did that in, CIS, I was like, okay, I want to take the next step to East Coast hockey. And once I, felt confident, like, okay, I can, I want to make that next step to the American League and see if I can play. In my first game, I got shelled. Yeah. I think I lost. I got scored on 5 times or something like that. I was like, oh, maybe I'm not good enough for the American League. And then I had to go back down the coast for another year, and then you get that next opportunity, and you play well, and you have a good good season. You're like, okay, well now I want to take that next step, and that's kind of what I think made me more hungry, was just trying to, once I would figure out that I can play in that league, I always kind of wanted more.
Dude, how easy was it to fall into the dorm life? Like when you're a student and you're like, actually, I can just gas beers and play video games. Like how quick do you fall into that? When you're like, oh, the junior grind is over now, I'm just in college.
I think if you ask anyone on my team, it was, just pizza and beers and NBA 2K with my roommate, and then just either walk down to the bar or walk down back to the rink. And it was a lot of fun. Sometimes you miss it for sure.
Yeah. Is there a single class from your academic days that you remember, or was that all just a blur?
I think it's a little bit of a blur. My first year I was in, general studies. So I was just taking a little bit of everything, just trying to kind of make it through the first year. And then I was going to kind of divot away.
Yeah. Yeah. I guarantee he can tell you his 2K roster though.
Oh, for sure.
Which was fire.
Oh man. Well, as we said, this journey was so cool, and you had multiple stops in the AHL, and then you obviously eventually end up in Vegas, and you had that Kelly McCrimmon connection with Brandon, with the Wheat King days. And you also said that there were a couple other teams that showed some interest before you eventually decided on Vegas, thinking that was going to be a great place to play, a great place to live. Can you tell us what any of those teams were, and what ultimately made you decide Vegas was the right spot for you?
It was actually Washington. They offered us a deal too, and
wow,
at the time, Washington just had so many goalies in their system. Like I think Sammy was here. I think Holtby was still here. Copley, Vitek.
Oh wow, yeah.
And so it was me and Milner. So like I was still kind of, the way I saw it, I was still kind of slotted in at that East Coast, which I loved at my time in Charleston. But then when I looked over at Vegas's system, they just traded for Leonard. They had Flower, and then they said that they were moving in an American League team there, and that's kind of where they would want me to be in the American League. And I just said, from my standpoint, it was just all about opportunity, and I liked my odds kind of more of being consistent in the American League at that time, and that's what led to me signing. With Vegas and also with Kelly McCrimmon there, I felt more comfortable leaving.
That's got to be such a factor. I feel like for, players, forwards, D, you obviously definitely look at the roster, but as a goalie, like that must be one of the first things that comes up. Like you have to look at that pipeline with how many goalies are signed with a team before you make a decision. Cause like it's impossible. I feel like you get, like you said, even like your first American League game, you get lit up a little bit and you're like, fuck, was that it? It's like the opportunities are so few and far between. That must be stressful when you're making that decision.
No, absolutely. And I think that's kind of why, like, my first year when I took that PTO with Washington, when I got there, I'm like, damn, like they already have 6 guys signed. I'm kind of screwed already. So that's kind of when it came down this second time when I got my, I was having the 2 contract offers. That's kind of when I sat down with my agent and just said, what makes more sense. And we agreed with Vegas at the time. And again, I think it was the right decision. And, I know Washington didn't hold any, they weren't mad at me for, that decision. And I think they understood that as well.
How quickly did you like your time in Vegas? Like you eventually get there. Obviously, you start getting some licks in up at the big club. Were you loving life there? Was it a hard adjustment? Because we always talk about with other guys in the league, the Vegas flu is real, and it's it's not an easy city to take it easy in. So how was your time? Like, did you adjust immediately?
Yeah, it was different. Obviously, I was a young kid who just signed an NHL deal and moving to Vegas, right? So,
yeah, dude, it's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of where it's different, right? I've never been to Vegas. Like, I've only been to Vegas for camp, and now I'm going to Vegas with a little bit of money in my pocket and young, and I want to have some fun. So yeah, it was definitely an adjustment, and you definitely have to grow up quick there. And I think that's kind of, that's kind of Vegas. But no, it was fun. Obviously the weather's good there. I built my first house out there. I still have it. I really, really did enjoy my time there. Met a lot of special people and still have a lot of good, friends out there that I'm, constantly in touch with.
Hell yeah. Yeah, dude. And like you said, you get the opportunity. It is about opportunity. You get the opportunity with the Silver Knights and you're playing great there, and then tell me a little bit about, as you come up to the big club, it's like kind of a roller coaster, right? Like you have the job, you don't have the job, you have a few injuries, you feel like you're a number one guy. And I saw a quote after the when you went back with the Caps, you went back and they did the video tribute and everything. And there's a million mics in your face after the game, but you had a quote that said, "I didn't make life easy when I was here sometimes." And I was curious what you meant by that and how those, that kind of roller coaster at the beginning of Vegas felt like.
Yeah, I mean, there's no one really tells you kind of how to, like, there's no script on how to walk into an NHL dressing room and just be a goalie, or just kind of how to handle everything and handle the fame, the attention. Sorry, I wouldn't even say fame, but maybe the attention you get, and then money comes in, and yeah, I mean, you're playing well, and I was young, and sometimes I think you get a little too confident or too excited, and yeah, you just there were some times where I don't think I made life easy on maybe the older guys that
sure, yeah,
one guy coming in and kind of just maybe I wanted all the attention and just like that spotlight, and I think sometimes I could rub people the wrong way, and that was definitely not what I tried to do. And I think that's something that when I look back, like, I have a lot of respect for, I think, all those guys, all those vets, and all those guys in that room. And I definitely tried to learn from my experiences and just try and move on and be better from it.
Do you feel like that? Do you see that there's young guys on the Caps, like coming up and playing big roles? Do you feel that? Is that like a young NHL guy thing, or is there stuff you can impart on those players from your experience in Vegas?
I mean, yeah, I don't think we have it here. And I think the dressing room that we have here, like a guy like and John Carlson, I think those guys they've been amazing for just the dressing room. And, they keep, it's funny, like and John, like, they keep the room fun and fresh, and everyone feels actually really young on this team because we're just having so much fun together. It's really not a stressful dressing room at all.
Yeah, that's huge. That is
Man, I feel like so many guys, tell us different stories and different journeys about their moments where they feel like they became a veteran. Do you feel like that time in Vegas with, like how you had so many great goalies, you were playing great, you're in, you're out. Do you feel like that sort of journey, that trial by fire in Vegas almost made you a veteran earlier than maybe you would have felt otherwise?
I definitely think that I kind of have a bigger or a better understanding and a bigger role now with the Caps from my experience with Vegas. I mean, I think Vegas always gets the bad rap of their cutthroat, but for the truth is that organization just likes to win, and I think that they just win. And I think leaving that organization and coming to a new one, there's just definitely a lot of good things you can learn from them, and one of them is how to handle yourself on and off the ice and how to win. And I think that I'm kind of found that happy medium of those both things and translated it here to DC.
That last sort of run with Vegas there, how was that experience like when you're, as a goalie who is now clearly a number one and someone who you believed in yourself the whole time? That's why there were those times where you're like, I believe that I should be a starter. You guys go on that cup run, but you're not starting. What were those emotions like, both just like as a human being and as a player who knows you're capable of being a Stanley Cup winning goaltender, having to be there for the boys, supporting, just staying positive when you're not playing? It's not an easy role to fit into.
It was mentally probably the hardest time, I think, for me.
Wow. Yeah.
I wasn't, I was pretty much cleared to play, but I wasn't, traveling with the team. I wasn't skating with the team. I was pretty much on the Black A squad. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't even really around, which made that kind of a little bit more difficult. And again, that comes from, I think, learning in the league. But for me, I couldn't really, didn't really know how to handle everything. So I thought, I was a part of the team, and then I felt like I really wasn't a part of the team. So that's not against any of those players in that dressing room. But it was really difficult, and not even being able to travel and even practice. And that's kind of what I wanted. I just wanted to be on the ice with them and not even play. But, so I wasn't able to do that, which made things, really difficult for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's like, it's one of the hardest things in the world as an athlete and a competitor when you're not able to go to battle and people ask you to just like put on a smile. That's fucking brutal.
Dude, exactly, because you want to win a cup, right? Like all of us, we were like, I want to win a cup so bad. Yeah. And it's like, this isn't how you pictured it happening. So I imagine that's a lot to wrestle with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I loved, I think we had 4 goalies, I think, that year. It was Patera, Quickie, Brossoit, and Hill. And I loved hanging out with Quickie. Brossoit obviously was having a great year, and he went down from injury. So I ended up, hanging out with LB a little bit more too. And yeah, you definitely it was nice that I wasn't kind of the only goalie sitting around, but it definitely wasn't easy as well. Like I said, when I've been there all year and then I feel like I'm being tucked away, it was definitely difficult. And obviously it was dream come true winning the cup, but I think everyone, dreams it a little different than kind of how.
Yeah.
For sure.
Right. So
for sure, dude.
Yeah.
Speaking of that cup, do you have any fond memories of, that unbelievable moment winning and hanging with the boys? Because our mutual friend Robbie has told us that you think Phil Kessel is like the greatest and funniest human being who's ever existed.
He was awesome. I miss him in the dressing room every day. He was just truly just amazing to be around. It's almost like one of those, like hanging out here with Ovi. It's just like, holy shit, this is your teammate. And there's always something going on with him, and it's just hilarious. Like,
was he just like a truly every day in the locker room, he would do or say something different and hilarious?
Oh yeah, him and Marchie were probably the funnest 2 guys together. When you put them in a room together, they would just go back and forth. There's some good stories with those 2.
Yeah, do you have any good ones? Eichel told us the one when then fucking Phil headbutts him, or maybe it's the reverse, but like they headbutt each other.
I was just gonna say that one. That's the best story before a game, and like he's getting close to his record. And he was on the floor. Marchie was cut. Someone taped like a body outline on the floor. It was wild. Like he had this huge golf ball bump on his head. And we're like, geez, Phil's not going to get this Iron Man streak because they're faking each other out and they headbutt. It was the funniest thing though. It was wild.
Because he's like his training and his diet is insane, right?
Geez,
like just watching him exist must be hilarious.
Yeah, but that's the thing, and he does it his own way and it works. I mean, I think that's something you can learn from guys like that. I didn't even know like there isn't a perfect recipe on how to play hockey and how to, stay healthy. Everyone's body's different, right? And they did what worked for them, and it works. So.
Dude, we always laugh about that. It's like, especially we were mentioning earlier, kind of like the younger guys coming into the league. So many of them have these crazy regiments and diets and all this. And then you see walking on the bus with a bag of Cheetos and a Subway sandwich. And you're like, there it is, dude. Yeah. That's the body of an NHL player right there. It's fucking fantastic.
Exactly. He's the greatest goal scorer ever, right? So he's
yeah. Like there's got to be something in those Cheetos, man. That's all I'm saying.
Dude, was Phil at the end? He, because he wasn't getting some time in the playoffs and stuff, and obviously he's not playing right now. But did you feel like he was slow? Like, do you feel like Phil could be playing right now? Because I do, but you saw it firsthand. So do you think he should have a home somewhere?
I think he could still play. I think I haven't talked to him now in a year. I know he's got that poker stuff going on, but
yeah,
I think if it was up to him, he'd still be playing. Yeah. And I think he could still play. I think I'm surprised a team wouldn't give him a PTO. Obviously, I'm not a GM, but I think some team could use him for. I mean, if you have a bunch of young guys, he's great for a locker room as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say camaraderie.
Right? The vibes alone. Yeah. I feel like what Kess brings in vibes is just unmatched. There's a lot of locker rooms that could use it.
How was he a card player on the plane?
Was he a card player? I didn't sit. I kind of sat in the back, so I'm not sure. I think he was a card player, and then I finally got to the card table here in DC.
Oh wow, what an honor, dude!
Yeah. I kind of forced my way onto it, but yeah.
Dude, I'd actually explain that because I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like the card table is not
competitive.
Yeah, it's like something that you got to work your way into. People don't realize that.
Yeah, well then, so at the front of our plane, it's like I think Lars Eller, Stromer, and John, and then there's a table at the back, and that's me, Dubois, Roy, and Mangiapane. But I kind of like. There was like kind of two spots, and they're like, "Oh, no one wants to play, no one wants to play." And I'm like, "Oh, I've played cards before." I just lied, just because I was if you need someone, I can do it. And then the first I think it was like 2 or 3 trips, I'm just kind of like bullshitting my way through these games, like just trying to fake it. And now I know what I'm doing. So, but it's hard to get on. Yeah.
2 weeks. LT's lost 20 grand.
Yeah, he's staying up late at night watching rounders, just trying to find some card lingo so he fits in at the table.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's so good. Now, LT, I want to talk about World Championships. 2022, you get named to Team Canada. You go up there, you get 3 wins. You beat Germany, Slovakia, Kazakhstan. You didn't play in the knockout games, but you guys had a crazy final. It was against Finland. You're down 3-1. You score with like two goals with 2 minutes left. Go to OT where you end up losing. But as a guy who literally was thinking about driving Uber Eats, you are wearing the Team Canada jersey at World Championships. What was that tournament like for you, and just the emotions that you were like, you're on that team, dude? That's crazy.
No, it was exciting. That was after I think when I got called up at the end of the year at Vegas and had a decent run, and that's when they called. So they were interested for me for that tournament and said yes and had a lot of fun. I unfortunately got a concussion, I think on my 3rd game against Germany, which sucked, but it was a lot of fun, and we had a really good team. Like Dubois was there. We had Lowry, Anderson. Like we were a deep team, and I think we would have won that tournament. And then unfortunately, that last game was wild, and our other goalie was Drieger.
Yeah,
he what injury did he get? It was like 3-3. He went to his post, and I think he tore his ACL like mid game.
God,
so savage.
So I was out, he was out, and then our third and Tompkins, he didn't play all month or how long we're there. He didn't get a game, so it's like. Now he has to go in overtime.
Yeah.
We're like win this, let's win this game. And I think they got a power play. And it's like, just, he had no situation.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I felt so bad for him. And it was like, we were right there, and it was just such a shitty timing for injuries and to just put him in the worst position too as well. So, but it was a lot of fun and great experience, and I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and it must have meant so much, right? You know, as a Canadian kid, you're like, sometimes I feel like Canadian dudes want to play for the national team more than they want to win the cup. So that must have had a ton of emotion for you. Yeah,
I've never got to do anything like that before and wear the Canadian jersey. So that was a lot of fun. That was my first time and first experience. So no, a lot of fun.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask, dude, like what's your mindset with moments like that? Because, I feel like every athlete's different when big achievement moments happen. Sometimes people take to stop and take a second and really sort of soak it in. Other people just sort of channel it deep down, stay locked in, and maybe later down the line they think about it. But it's like for you, like we said, not to gas you up too much, but it's like your story's just so awesome. And it's like, it's one of these amazing times where we get to talk to someone and see just a picture of dedication and belief in yourself to get to where you've gotten to. And I look at moments like, you know, making it to the league, playing for Vegas, winning Stanley Cup, then putting on the Canada sweater, now being in Washington. It's like, do those moments for you make you stop and say like, holy shit, like I'm wearing the Canada jersey right now? Or is it just so intense that you're just like, all right, you know, like this is cool, stay focused, like keep rocking? Like, what's your mindset in those really cool benchmark moments?
No, it's definitely, you know, you sit back and I remember like my first NHL game in Vegas against Nashville. And it's, you know, it really sinks in when you're kind of just during the national anthem, you're sitting there and you just see the whole crowd, right? And you're like, yeah, this is kind of where you always wanted to be, right? And in Vegas, their fan base is electric, and right. So it's just, that's an easy rink to get up for. But I remember just all the butterflies, and that's the same with Canada over there in Helsinki. It was definitely cool and proud to wear that jersey for that moment. And you know, as soon as the national anthem's over, you still have the butterflies, but you gotta play the game, right? So that's kind of when I always would take it in, would always be during the national anthems for sure.
It's the best.
Yeah. Did you guys is it like in the NHL playoffs, there's not really, you know, you're laser focused in, but in a tournament like that, does the team go out like in between games? You guys like out having fun, or is it like, no, we're locked in until
look
this
at that
is over?
smile, dude? We know the answer.
You have a little more time for fun on and I think guys with a trip like that at the end of the season, I think it's important that you actually do have fun, right? You just finished the whole NHL season, which are long, and now you're overseas in somewhere nice like Helsinki. I think it's important that you get out with the guys and have some beers between games or after games, and so I think a trip like that's important to do that.
Yeah, that's
dude.
awesome.
Have you ever heard the conspiracy theories about Finland and Helsinki?
No, what are they?
Dude, there's the huge conspiracy that Finland's actually not a real country, and it's just a Russian operative piece of land, and Helsinki's like a hub for Russian spies. Did you feel like you saw any of that when you were there?
I didn't see that. I'm trying to think I don't think the sun ever went down though. I think it was
Oh shit. Yeah, that's crazy.
It was so sunny, and you'd leave the bar and you said, I don't know what time it is.
Yeah.
See, that's how they brainwash you there, dude.
Yeah,
I'm telling you. Man, talking about Team Canada, we obviously wanted to get into this with you, but Four Nations tournament coming up, of course, and you have been one of the hot topics around the league all season long since these rosters have been named. The unfucking believable season that you are having. Everyone has been saying it's insane that you are not on this roster, and that's no disrespect to the great goalies who were named for Team Canada, but I think anyone who's been paying attention to the league thinks that you deserve to be on that team. And you said that you didn't even get a preliminary call. And now obviously there's been this news in the news cycle about that whole process. So tell us a little bit about that whole journey and how it's been going down.
Yeah. I mean, I think I said from the start, you know, I never really expected to make the team, and that still, you know, doesn't bother me. I hope that Team Canada goes out there and wins it. I know they have, you know, three great goalies that can do the job, and I think they've proven that they can do the job with Binner and Hill. I mean, they're 2 cup winners, right? But yeah, that was never really my focus of the year. I just wanted to come here with a fresh start in Washington and give this team the best chance to win, and I think that's what I've been doing. And yeah, you can kind of see the noise on social media. It's hard sometimes not to, and obviously I appreciate all the, you know, people saying that they want me there, that I should be there. I appreciate that, but yeah, it sucks when, you know, you don't make a team, but you know, it's happened before, and it definitely doesn't bother me. I'm just gonna keep trying to help the Washington Capitals and move on with the Washington Capitals. That's kind of where my mindset's at with that right now. And yeah.
Is it weird when you see stuff like, what was it, BR? What was that? Who sent that?
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like when you see stuff from like the BR tweet that's like DeBoer and Cassidy were like, oh, that's never going to happen. And you are kind of like, that's not necessarily true. You know, like, is it weird when you see crazy reports out there about your status as a Canadian goalie?
Yeah, it's always, you know, it sucks when you see stuff like that, especially when, you know, you're definitely just trying to, you know, I feel like I haven't said anything, you know, harsh towards anyone in Canada, right? I'm just trying to focus on everything here in DC. But kind of from what I've learned is I don't think you can really control of what people are going to say. There's always going to be people saying things. And, you know, I know Bruce, I know Pete, I also have their phone numbers. So like, obviously, you send them a text and kind of get their opinions. And I think the best way is just I'm gonna there's nothing you can do about it. I still wish them the best. I had a lot of fun. I have a lot of respect playing for Pete and Bruce, and I obviously hope that they go and Team Canada wins it all. And I'll be watching. So
from Jamaica.
I'll be watching. I mean, I just have no plans on canceling my trip, and I had no plans on canceling my trip. So I'm gonna go enjoy it and watch a little bit of hockey while I'm there.
LT, you're clearly not a grudge guy, and it's so admirable. I'm way too bitter of a person to be as mature as you are about this. But is there a part of you that feels kind of good when shit like this happens, like those comments are maybe said, and then maybe you hear from Pete or Butch and they're kind of like, listen, man, like you're playing out of your mind, like you deserve,
like if we had picked the team later, it would be you, obviously.
You would be on there, like that must feel kind of nice to see that. And like you said, it's feels good seeing idiots like us banging the drum on social media being like, this obviously this is goalie one. That must be kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, it feels, like I said, it's always nice to get kind of, like all I ever really wanted is, respect. And, sometimes you got to go and earn it. And I just kind of want my play to do the talking. I don't see a point on going back and forth on media and trying to say things about other people and go back and forth. I just want my play to do the talking. And that's been my focus, honestly, since day one of Washington. I know it was a big risk, asking from a trade from Vegas. Obviously, I knew that, and but I believed in myself, and that's kind of what all I'm trying to do, and just take risks, and hopefully it keeps working out.
Yeah, yep. And you, like, maybe Four Nations initially wasn't on your radar, but I got to imagine after we take care of business and win a cup here in Washington, I got to imagine Olympics is on the radar.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would be lying if I said no. I don't want to play for Team Canada. Like I'd be lying. So obviously that's always going to be a dream of mine, like playing the NHL was. So I'm going to keep, try and put myself the best position to get there, and hopefully it works out. If not, then I'll be okay.
We'll go back to Jamaica.
Yeah, exactly right. Dude, speaking of the trade, coming into this season, you had a talk with Vegas, and they were kind of like, Kill has a contract, he's going to be the guy, and that's what we feel moving forward. So respectfully, you asked for a trade because you feel like you're a number one guy, and as we've said many times in this episode, opportunity is key. You were looking for an opportunity. First of all, I cannot believe I saw you the night before.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah, I was with my agent.
Yeah,
dude.
I had to do a signing, and then I was with like my agent, my financial team, and we're all there. And then I literally see you, and I was like, "Yeah, I remember." I'm like, "What's up, man? Like, how's it going?" And then literally next morning at another signing, I'm like, "This is awkward." I literally got traded and was running into all these guys yesterday.
Dude, but I was dying. What was that? Was like Loud Luxury, or I can't remember who that was.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it was Loud Luxury because that's why we went, because I'm close with Andrew. So I was texting Andrew before. He's come say hi. So me and my agency all went.
Dude, so I'm at a table with a bunch of other idiots, I think like Biz and whoever, and LT's at this table behind me, and a dude jumps from my table. I think it was Gavin, actually.
Yeah, it was.
Gavin jumps into your table because you had a bunch of people there, and there was a girl that he was waving at. So my boy jumps into your table, over the booth. And I turn around to help him.
Or something like that. Yeah.
And I see you, and you see me, and you're like, "Yo!" And I was like, "Oh, dude, what's up?" And you, dude, I don't know if you remember this, but you look at me and you go, "Dude, stop saying I'm getting traded on the podcast."
I did.
Dude, but then LT, I was like, my bad.
I did say that. I was hoping he forgot that, but I did say that.
Oh yeah, dude, you said that to Chris.
It was so loud.
Oh, dude, you said that to Chris. We all laugh about it, have a great night. I woke up, I got on a 7 a.m. flight to England the next morning, and I get on that flight and see the news, and I text him and I go, "Dude," he's like, "Dude, LT got traded." It's like, "Oh fuck!" And then you have to do the fucking signing the next morning. It was insane.
It was wild because obviously me and Kelly, we had that relationship, so we were kind of talking back and forth and discussing everything, and then. Yeah, I was just out having fun, and I'm like, probably I haven't heard anything in a couple of days. I'm probably not going to get moved. Then I see him, and I'm like, I'm a smart ass. Sometimes I'm going to go say something.
Dude, it's so funny. I was texting everybody. I was like, dude, because the whole
Oh my
time
God,
I've
dude.
been like, I was like, oh, Vegas is going to move him because they're not playing him. And he's a number one guy. They're going to trade him.
Yeah.
And then I was like, whatever. And dude, it's funny doing this job because I'm like, we're yelling into the void. No one's listening, you know? And then I see you and you're like, hey, dude, because we hadn't met yet. And you're like, hey, dude, stop saying I'm getting traded on the podcast. And I was like, oh, fuck.
Dude, there was such a long period, LT, where we were like, we did this.
I was like, this
We
is
got
my
LT
fault.
traded.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane.
I think, Kelly probably heard it and said, yeah, that's probably time.
We got to
Yeah.
move him.
Yeah.
But dude,
Oh my
did
God.
you give a in that process? Did you give a list of teams, or and when did you find out it was Washington? Did you find out when I found out, or like how did that all go down for you?
Yeah. So obviously, I was going back and forth all summer with Kelly. Kind of, I didn't know where my head was at. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Obviously, I loved Vegas, and I remember having that conversation with Kelly, and it was a very positive and good conversation. Like, it was nothing about me. And I always see all these different reasons about why I got traded or why I wanted to get traded. And it's like, it all, like I said, we've come down this whole podcast about, it was just about opportunity, right?
Yeah.
And so when I was talking to Kelly and, you know, and everyone thinks, oh, him and Aiden Hill, they hate each other. No, it's not that. I just want to, I felt like I was putting myself at that age of 26. I'd be letting myself down, accepting to be kind of the backup role or not trying to be a starting guy in this league. And that's kind of how I felt. If I accepted and said, okay, I'll be your number two guy, then me, just as the type of person I am, would be letting myself down. And so when I went to Kelly, it was definitely hard. I think it was hard for him. It was hard for me to be like, I want to go somewhere else. And, you know, it was probably the best decision I ever made. And I have a lot of respect for Kelly McCrimmon, you know, moving me, because they could have easily just said no with my cap hit and, you know, let me sit there. Right. So, and obviously that's kind of what it all came down to. It was just wanting a chance. And they obviously made it very clear that Aiden Hill's their guy, and that was kind of all I needed to hear, and say, just let me go somewhere else.
Yeah. And when you found out it was Washington, did it add an element of sort of excitement or hope to the situation, knowing that you had done a PTO with them? You maybe knew a little bit of people over there and it felt like a good fit?
Yeah. And sorry, going back to the question. Yeah, no, I never gave a list.
Okay. Yeah.
I wasn't like, oh, send me here, send me there. I was just like, I'll go anywhere, right? That needs a guy, that needs a goalie.
Do you know if other teams were in the mix, or that's above your pay grade?
I'm not too sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, like Kelly said, oh, he would always say, oh, like we've talked to a couple, but there was never.
Names. Yep.
And then, when I found out it was Washington, there was a bunch of different feelings. I was excited because I've been here. I know the goalie coach really well. I know a lot of some of the guys that are still here, but it was also, you know, you're kind of scared shitless at the same time. I've never been traded before.
Yeah.
And I've also, all I know is Vegas, and I know that team and that system and that whole staff. So you're also like, you know, you're scared going to a new team, and that whole doubt of, you know, can I even play in this league? Can I do what I want to do? And that's kind of where all those feelings kind of creep in as well.
For sure. Man, that's so awesome. And, you know, now you're in Washington, and the Caps, dude, this magical season has been unbelievable. You know, you add the fact that O is chasing down Gretzky. You guys come out so hot. So many of the young guys are playing out of their mind. And like we've said a bunch of times, you are just, you're playing the best hockey of your NHL career. And it's so awesome to see. And I think one of the coolest parts about it is, us included, I don't think anyone saw this coming. I mean, there was so much, I don't even want to say doubt, but it maybe was just a lack of expectation for you guys to jump out to this unbelievable start. How cool does it feel to be a part of that in your first season, you know, being such a huge part of this team, working with guys like, seeing him chase down a legend there. I feel like there's just so many storylines that are making this such a cool season for you guys.
Yeah, no, obviously, I don't think, you know, when I got traded there and everyone's all like, oh, they're not going to, you look at our Metro division. I think we have a really tough division, right? Like, it's, you know, you're not an idiot. You sit there and you have the Rangers, you got Carolina, you got New Jersey who loaded up. So you're like, fuck, this is going to be a grind, you know, with all these teams. But you look at the pieces that we brought in with Chicky and Mangiapane and Dubois, Roy. Like, I was like, you know, I think they added a lot of good pieces. I think we're going to surprise a lot of people, is kind of what I always would tell myself. And when I got here at camp and was skating with the guys, and you're just like, fuck, we look really good. Like, I think we're going to surprise a lot of guys here. And I don't think there was really any doubt in our dressing room. Obviously we knew there was doubt around the league, but just kind of that, like I said, it's hard to explain that the vibe in the dressing room and just kind of how everyone just clicks and get along and how much fun we have. I think that's also a big reason why we're being so successful.
Dude, obviously he hasn't played yet this year, but Osh told us that he was like, man, this locker room is tighter than the year we won the cup. Like he was like, it's unbelievable the vibes going on in here. How noticeable is that for you, even in it being your first year? Like, does this just feel like one of the coolest locker rooms you've ever been a part of?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, even so, like, you don't know what to expect, right? You come into a dressing room with a guy like Ovechkin, and he's just giant, a giant human being. He's a lot of fun, and guys like Tom Wilson. There's no cliques, right? We do everything kind of together. If you're going to dinner on the road, it's anyone who wants to come, and we just kind of do everything together on and off the ice. And we got the group together, I think, right before preseason started, and would have beers. So it's just ever since day one, we've been tight and we've done everything together. And yeah, it's a special group, and I think everyone wants to keep this group together for a while here because we're having so much fun.
Who's the funniest guy in that locker room? I feel like there are so many candidates.
I mean, yeah, Tom Wilson's a good one. He's a character. Ovi's is like a Phil. He's got so many stories, and
he's funny by accident. Yeah.
There's just so many guys. Yeah, you got Duhaime. I don't know if you know who Dewey is.
Yeah.
He's a good character as well. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going around.
Is Ovi nonstop? Like, is he just ridiculous at all times, or is he ever quiet?
I wouldn't say he's quiet. He's always he's always something, but it's always good. It's always positive.
God, I love that so much.
Incredible.
And now, obviously, man, the extension must have been such a cool feeling. And I want to know a couple of things about that specifically. How long was this been talked about all year? Did it kind of pick up maybe in the last month or so? And then what was it about Washington? Both the area and the team and the organization that made that feel like home for you, that you were like, hell yeah, I want to extend here long term.
Yeah, I think obviously when I got traded here, we reached out and just said kind of what's the plan, and they said they were gonna wait and kind of see how it goes. I think we kind of started having conversations about it maybe a month ago. They're really slow, but that's we would kind of check in on each other, and then just over the past, I think I signed 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, 2.
It really, was fast. Probably I want to say 2 or 3 days before that. The conversations were really quick, and then I woke up that morning before we played Vancouver, and we had pretty much the deal done. So it all kind of came together pretty quick, but it was probably a month of talking. And I think the reason I wanted to stay here was just for some of the reasons how we talked about the dressing room. It's easy to come to work every day with a smile on your face, and I think I'm just mentally happy and very
so
clear,
important.
Very clear headspace. You can just come here and play. And I think I think mental is, I think it's 70% of the game, especially when you're a goalie. You just have to have a clear.
I was sure to say that. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And for me, if I'm having fun, I think that's when I play my best, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm just really happy here, and really thankful to be here as well.
Dude, it's the best. And I know you got a million people saying it, but we're so happy for you. It's you deserve it. And it's just so cool seeing you fitting in with that group so well and playing such an incredible level of hockey right now. It's so fun to watch, man. It's the best.
That. After you guys got me traded. So yeah, I appreciate it.
I mean, dude, so much was riding on this for us. We were making calls you fucking better play this guy, man. We might have ruined his life.
You guys got me here. So it's
this is on us.
Actually, you know what, LT, you're welcome.
I want my name on the cup, dude. I want my name on the cup. That's fucking insane, dude. Oh God.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Okay, LT, we're gonna play 2 quick games with you. Do you scroll up so you can write?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. So this first game, LT, is I give you 6 goalies in the league, and I give you 6 ratings on NHL 25, and it'll be out of order. And you got to you and Dan will play together. You got to match them, and you got to keep going until you have them all right.
So I don't know these either. I'm in it with you.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Your goalies are Aiden Hill, Freddie Anderson, Mackenzie Blackwood, Dustin Wolf, Jacob Markstrom, and Flower.
Okay.
Jesus. Okay.
And the ratings are 88, 87, 86, 84, 82, 81.
Jeez. All right, so now we got a LT. We have to mix and match here.
Well, thinking because if it's the video game, and I don't have NHL 25, but just guessing and I'm saying I know he's having an amazing year, so I'm not knocking him, but I think just because it's the NHL, he's a rookie and it's his first year, I'm going to go Dustin Wolf 81.
I completely agree with
Wow,
that.
rinsing Wolf right off the
Yeah,
bat.
no, not Dustin Wolf at all. I'm just going off of if I'm in a video game.
Wolf getting absolutely sewered. Love to see it.
Killed immediately.
I think for a similar reason, I would guess that Markey is the 88.
Yeah, yes, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go him 88. And then,
What's the next one? 87?
yeah, then 87, 86, 84, and 82 are left. And we've got Hill, Freddie Anderson, Blackwood, and Flower.
I mean, Freddie always put up good numbers every time he plays. So I think he's got to be the next one, right? That's just my opinion, just because he's always had good numbers. But,
I agree with that. He could be an 87. And then you think...
And Hill, I don't know. It's tough because, I mean, those are Carolina's team. Vegas is a good team, so it's...
Yeah. No, I like that, though. Maybe we go Freddie and then Hill.
Freddie, then Hill, and then Blackwood.
Well, I think we got to go Flower 84 and then Blackwood 82.
Oh, God, that's tough.
I know. I know, dude. This what's also tough is we're potentially insulting people here, which is
I know.
rude.
Why can't we do forwards?
Yeah, so true. Fucked up.
So we had to do goalies.
Oh, God.
I can't imagine Flowers in 82. I feel like Blackwood, for similar reasons, like people were sleeping on Blackwood, and then he gets to Colorado, and now everyone realizes how good he was. Maybe the rating is too low, and maybe that's why it's an 82.
I guess that's true. I mean, we're kind of knocking, but they're having amazing seasons. So I'm not saying that they're worth those ratings. Like Dustin Wolf's 81 in my books.
Yeah.
But he's 81. EA Sports sees him as 81.
Yeah, this is on EA. This is not on you.
EA
Take
is the one
it up with
insulting.
them. Yeah, like that's all that creator content. That's all them. That's not us. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go Markey 88.
Yeah.
Freddie Anderson 87.
Yeah.
Hill 86. Flower 84.
Yeah.
Blackwood 82. Wolfie 81.
Okay, you guys did tremendously well.
Let's go.
You got correct. Hill 86, Flower 84, Blackwood 82, Wolf 81.
Wow. Okay, hold on. We got Hill right.
Yep. Flower right, Blackwood right, Wolf right.
Okay.
All you missed was the top two.
Wow. Okay.
So
we just flipped.
Freddie's higher than Markey.
Yeah,
Then
Freddie
Markey.
88, Markey 87.
All right. First of all, LT, great job.
Yeah.
We nailed that.
We did that.
Wow.
Freddie over Markey. That's surprising.
Can't believe that. Take it up with EA.
Yeah, we will.
What's my rating?
Jeez.
Do you want to guess yours?
I'll tell you right now, it's bullshit.
Agree.
Is it bullshit?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
I don't know. Well, I'm gonna. I'll go 83. If 83, just yeah,
Dude, it's a 72. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. You're not even in the game, LT.
Yeah. you're back in the coast.
Yeah,
actually,
you're on the Silver Knights still, dude.
It's 84.
It's an 84, so
Okay.
you undershot it, which
Yeah.
is great. That you look very humble with that guess. I like
good
that.
job. Good job. Okay, LT, our last game we play with everybody. It's called Pass, Shoot, Score. We give you a bunch of categories of stuff you like, and we give you 3 things in those categories, and you have to rank them pass, shoot, and score. Passing is your least favorite because assists are cool, but they're not that cool. And it goes all the way up to score, which is our most favorite because lighting the lamp is the big goal. Okay. Your first category is childhood NHL heroes.
Okay.
So pass, shoot, score, Danny Briere, Marty Turco, and Mika Kiprasov.
Oh, God. Well, I'll pass. What was the first one? Briere?
Yeah,
These are tough, man.
I know.
Briere's my number, but Kipper's my guy, and Turco. You're killing me.
Yeah.
I'll pass Turco.
Oh, wow.
The second one shoot or
Yeah,
Yeah.
shoot.
I'll shoot Briere and then I'll score
Good.
with Kipper.
have to score
Kipper's
with
the
Kipper.
guy.
God, remember how fucking good he was?
Yeah, he was a stud. And then I feel like I can't pass on Briere because I wear 48. So
I know, dude.
What's with that? Why did you love Danny Briere?
Well, one, I remember Philly, like when they had like that cup run and they were kind of a wagon for a bit. I just thought he was nasty.
Yeah.
And then when I was trying out for a team, they kind of added me late and they said, we have 2 numbers. No one wanted them. We have 12 and 48, but no one wanted them. And I said, well, I'm a goalie. I'm not taking 12. And I was like, and then I was like, all right, well, no one's wanted me for a while, so I'll just keep this number. And that's kind of how it stuck with me. And then, yeah, so
48's pretty nails.
It was a
number.
6 switch. I actually looked up why you switched back, and I heard that you were like, I just loved it, and no goalies really paved the way with that number. So you kind of made it your own thing. That's sick. Who's a guy that you love watching in the league now?
You mean like a player?
Yeah.
Well, that's actually a fun question. You can't say Ovi.
Can't say no. I mean, it's a guy like, obviously McDavid, just the way that how slow he sees the game and when he's coming down on you, I think is just, it's impressive. And trying to think who else that, honestly, a guy like Kreider, I kind of like just how their net front.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
That bothers me, right? Because when guys like that are in front, like I kind of respect that a lot. It's hard. And what they do, I think, goes a lot unnoticed. So guys like that for sure.
Sick.
Do you ever give him a blocker to the kidney when guys are doing that?
No, I don't. I'm not really a aggressive guy. I don't really like that because I'm also not a strong guy. So I know.
yeah, fair.
Dude, I have a theory, LT, that McDavid might move too fast for his teammates even. Like there are times where he is doing shit and then throws a pass and someone's like, in what world would I have been ready for that? It's unbelievable.
Well, we talk about it. It's like how slow he must see the game though. Like the stuff that he does is, I just want to kind of see what he sees for one day. It'd be impressive, I think.
I agree. I'm telling you, it's like he has spidey sense. Like it's like everything is slowed down to the point where it's in slow motion for him. It's unbelievable.
Well, he's had a breakaway on me. I'm like, oh, I got him. Like done. And then he'll pull something out and I'm like, didn't see that coming. Like
it goes back the other way. I'm like, oh no.
You're an idiot, LP. Yeah, it's just fucking dumb. Yeah.
All right, here's your next one. This one is things that rattle you. So we're going to go pass, shoot, score, same deal, but we'll have score be the one that rattles you the most.
Yeah.
All right, things that rattle you. Being dragged to a sushi restaurant. Guys shooting 5-hole in practice. Or nachos being thrown on the ice in the middle of a game.
Oh, God. Well, made me eat a full sushi meal in where were we when that stuff came out when we were texting. I was literally at sushi, then he took a full 2-minute video of me eating sushi while I'm all rattled. So
What was it? Do you remember what kind of fish it was? Like, what did you try for the first time?
He's like, LT, try this. And then, okay, LT, eat this. And then this is yellowtail. And I'm just like, I don't want to. Like, I'm already grumpy. And I'm sitting there with adding some suki or whatever it is. I'm just, Do
you still hate it, or is it growing on you a little bit?
It's growing on me a bit. Some stuff I wasn't crazy about, but I don't know what I was eating. He was making me eat it. So I'll probably put that as pass. The nachos will be that'll be score. That'll be the first one. And then
that was tough.
That was wild, man. Like that was a first.
It was rattling because I let a goal in and I could have saved it. And I'm sitting there complaining about the nachos, and then I got to hear about it for a week. So.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Yeah.
Oh God, dude. And then 5-hole, dude. You just you don't want to go down and practice. That's the deal.
Well, I've kind of been like the first 2 drills of practice, I want to like stay on my goal line and get my hands going. And the guys know that. So they just, whatever, like even if it's a morning skate, I'm trying to get ready for a game, they just start ripping at 5-hole and they know I'm not seeing the puck. They like to get me rattled. So
yeah. Good. Get you on your toes.
Yeah. Boys, keeping you honest.
Okay. Your next category is things that bring you joy. So pass, shoot, score, playing video games, getting a new car, or watching a UFC title fight.
Where are you guys getting this info from? Jesus.
We've got our people,
dude.
Don't worry.
Digging, dude.
Tell me
Deep
about
digging.
the cars, like.
Yeah.
I'll go pass on the UFC. I'll go. I can't even tell. Maybe I just bought a car too, so I can't.
Yeah.
I'll go shoot on the car and score
Wow.
video games. Yeah.
Yep.
Wait, did you just buy a car?
I'm not gonna say.
Dude, I'm hearing he's getting cars like every few months.
Yeah,
like he's like
I
a
know.
new 3 months go by, new car.
in Vegas. I was. Yeah, I was bad.
What's
That's
the
why
favorite?
I
I
needed a
heard.
new deal. I was like, guys, I have work next year. I was getting my LinkedIn account ready because I was just
Yeah. What's the favorite? I heard the Bronco was sick, but what's been your favorite?
Bronco was nice. I had a McLaren that I really liked.
Yep.
Yeah, I think my McLaren and my Bronco are probably my two favorites.
Better than the Infinity G35 from the Brock days.
Yeah, the blacked out exhaust, no snow tires. Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
Yeah,
dude.
ripping that around Brock is really successful.
Yeah. What's the video game? Is it Call of Duty, or are you a 2K guy still?
2K still, a little bit of COD, but I kind of love the 2K. I'm always on the 2K grind. Yeah.
Who's your NBA team? Being a Calgary guy, who do you like?
I was with the Raptors when Kawhi was there, and so I've always just stuck with the Raptors. I know they're not doing too well. Same with the Washington, the Wizards. They're kind of
right. Yeah, tough hoops for you right
Tough
now.
days.
That's
Tough
all right.
days
That's all
right
right.
now.
You get to go to games, which are fun. So that's
That is sick actually.
Yeah.
Great
And-
facility.
Dude, the Commanders are nasty right now. I mean, Washington sports, dude.
Yep.
We're on the up. This is exciting.
Having a moment.
yeah.
all right.
It's legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Your last one is STK menu items.
Okay.
We're going for a steak dinner,
Yeah.
pass, shoot, score, filet, ribeye, or a tomahawk for the table.
Ooh. Well, then you go tomahawk for score.
Yeah. No hesitation.
Had to be.
Yeah.
Had to be.
And then what was the final two?
Filet and a ribeye.
I'll go filet, shoot, ribeye, pass.
Wow.
My guide.
Yeah.
I'm the
That's
same
right.
way.
You guys do your research to some of this stuff, though, eh? I don't know.
Oh yeah, dude.
I mean, listen, dude, we got to give you the full experience.
Interesting. Yeah.
Ribeye for the table is the move.
Yeah.
There is no doubt about that.
No, tomahawk for the table.
Oh, sorry.
not
Tomahawk for the
ribeye.
table. Tomahawk for the table.
Yep.
No doubt. It's amazing.
Incredible.
All
You tee up this one.
right, dude. The last thing we're going to do for you is a thing we call career hattie. It's a career hat trick. Usually with players, it's their 3 favorite goals of their career. This one for you is going to be 3 favorite saves of your career. So if you think you can think of 3 big saves or big moments that you're like, yeah, those 3 stand out.
Any level too. Like, I don't care if it's like back in college or coast or whatever.
Let me know and I'll tee up.
For saves,
Yeah.
I know 2. I'm trying to think of one more.
Yeah, take your time. Once
Yeah,
you're ready,
no rush.
Dan will ask you.
Hard. Actually, yeah, I got 3 saves.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Hell yeah.
I'll do.
All right. Hold on. I'm going to tee up.
Oh, yeah.
Career hat trick, goalie edition. Logan Thompson, 3 favorite saves of your career.
I'll go. My third will be Forsberg, my first NHL game. They threw it across to him, and that guy has my number, but I got my toe on it, so that was probably my favorite, one of my favorites.
That is sick.
Nice.
I'll go. Last year in playoffs against Dallas, there was a couple saves, so I'll kind of throw 2. I'll do the glove save in the first, and then a couple of the breakaway saves on Sagan in the second.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll do my first will probably be the Winnipeg Jets for Vegas, getting my paddle across and going off my paddle.
I knew
Yeah,
that was going to be in
that
there.
one was
That's
nasty. I was like, I hope
dude.
that one's in there.
it's all
Those
time.
are great.
Is that the sickest as a goalie? Is a paddle save like just the coolest thing of all time?
It's I mean, all those saves are so much fun, but like it's so much luck too. Like know, you're just like it's a holy shit moment. You know, they have an empty net, and you're just throwing anything over. And
Yeah, just like, bang. God.
When you feel it, though, like when you feel it hit the paddle, are you like, oh,
I'm
fuck
the fucking
yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, you're like, yeah, I'm the man. Yeah. And just, like even this year with Chucky, he did like the pad stack glove save. That's the best feeling. When you're mid rotation, you kind of feel it in your glove. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go let it twirl. It's the best. Yeah,
Like that's a full on video game save.
Yeah.
What is he saying too? Like he had that Superman one earlier, eh? Remember? Like like that must be so funny coming back to the bench. Like I'm so sick.
Was that the other night? Like what the fuck happened to him the other night when he like came out of the net and then had to scramble back in and make a fucking save?
Yeah,
that
you
was
guys were pulling the
insane,
goalie.
too.
I think I can't remember.
That was Vancouver. Yeah, so we were down 2-1, and so they obviously called him, and I think we turned it over. And the guy actually made a great shot on net, and
it was
full,
nuts.
just full straight Superman. It was unbelievable. It's fun to see. So,
God, it's the best. All right, well, LT, we've taken up enough of your time on a Saturday, no less,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
We can't thank you enough. This was so fun. Before we let you go, is there anything you want to shout out? Anything you want to give some props to?
No, I think not that I can off the top of my head. Just thanks for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, dude. Absolutely. It's our pleasure. It's so awesome. Time to talk about the absolute best beer in the game in general, and especially when you're enjoying some hockey. Labatt Blue is going to be that nice, cool, crisp, refreshing taste, that delicious beer that you need to suck down whenever you're watching the game. The greatest game in the world, that's hockey. And let me tell you what, every single can, bottle, pint of Labatt Blue and Labatt Blue Light is brewed with Canadian kindness. And there is no kindness on this planet that matches Canadian kindness. And you want that when you're having your beer. You want to have a nice, happy buzz going, and Labatt Blue Light are going to give you that every single time. If you are at the game, if you're watching at home, if you're just kicking it with the fellas, you need Labatt in your life right now. There is no beer that gives you that nice smack of, God, that was fantastic. That is delicious. And that makes me feel that Canadian kindness, makes me feel happy, makes me feel good. And it makes you enjoy the game of hockey just a little bit more. You didn't think that was possible, did you? Well, I'm here to tell you it is. And Labatt is going to deliver that for you. You need to crack one open, pour one into a nice pint glass, or pop that bottle today. All right, now let's jump into a beer league hotline brought to you by our friends at Labatt Blue.
My buddy gets a tattoo of our beer league championships on his thighs every year we win. He puts the season in the year. We don't win that much, so it's not like he has a million tats. And they're in Roman numerals, so he has winter 2017, winter 2019, summer 2023, and winter 2025 is trending in the right direction. But how many is too many? When do I tell him to stop?
Just now. End this madness already. I need to know. How big do you
think they are? How big do you think they are?
That is what was my next question. I need. This is another situation where I need someone to send a photo. If these are really small, cool, Roman numerals kind of fall.
It's like winter XXVII.
Yeah. Roman numerals kind of fall in that category for me. Of I think they look cool. Yeah. The tattoos. So I need to see the tat. Because if this says beer league champs, then I'm like, oh, buddy. Dude. But if you're literally just getting like
winter XXV,
like if it says like S for summer or like W for winter, and then just the Roman numerals, and then next to it is like S and then Roman numerals, then it's kind of vague, and it looks probably cool. If this has beer league anywhere on it or your team logo anywhere on it, then sir, you are a man-child, and you are going to die alone.
Dude, I thought.
You are going to die alone drinking Labatt Blues in front of the TV thinking about the old days.
That's probably when he goes to get them, Dan. He has a Labatt Blue, he goes to get a tattoo.
He's certainly doing that, yeah.
Dude, I think that I actually thought if it said winter, I kind of like your WS thing, but I think if it said winter XXVII.
Also cool.
Winter XX1X. People might be like, that's Olympics. Winter Olympics.
That's what I'm saying.
Summer Olympics.
I don't think you need numerous winters, though. I think it's like a category, winter, and then just the Roman numerals under it.
You're like, God, those are the Olympics. So he's at the beach, Dan, and his short shorts are up. He's getting tan.
Yeah, thigh tat.
And they go, holy shit, that guy's been in 3 Winter Olympics and 2 Summer Olympics.
What does he compete in?
Dude, the versatility of this athlete that I'm looking at.
Yeah.
So, dude, I'm now like, keep the train rolling.
It depends on the size, and it depends on the word.
Tell me when to stop. This is the horizontal width
of the Roman numerals
of the whole thing, because it either says winter or something.
But it might say W.
Yep. Horizontal. I'll do it into the camera. Horizontal width. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Right here.
Yeah. Don't you dare think about going. Could you imagine?
Full thigh, dude. Wrap around. What if it's like the cup? What if his thigh's like the cup?
Oh my God.
And it with the words wrap around.
We're not talking enough.
It gets down to mid calf, dude. They keep winning.
These guys have a bit of a dynasty building.
Dude, they're pretty good. There's usually a couple seasons a year, though. So
17,
it's like
19, 2023, 2025. It's a good little run here.
Yeah, they had that tough 19 to 23 was
tough stretch.
Sledding.
Yeah.
I actually love this dude. I
don't hate it. You need him to stop. This man better. He's
got 3, Dan.
This man better.
He's trending or his 4th.
Be covered in tattoos. Because if these are his only tattoos, then this is the most psychotic behavior I've ever heard in my life. Like this, he has to be a tattoo guy.
But if he's a tattoo guy, he might be running out of room.
You always find room, right?
You always find room.
Wags, tattoo people, you always find room. He's gonna get get tattoos up and down his cock.
Summer 2030.
No, his horn is gonna be just covered in Roman numerals soon. This guy's a sick god.
That's awesome. Now we're gonna do something, a little odds game with our friends at BetMGM.
Yep.
Okay. After the Four Nations break, we are matching these 6 teams with their odds to win the Stanley Cup.
I love it.
We've got Oilers, Hurricanes, Panthers, Stars, and Capitals, and the Jets.
Okay.
And then we've got plus 1,200, plus 1,000, plus 900, plus 700, plus 575,
Jeez.
plus 850.
Okay. I think with the Connor performance, they're going to give a lot of juice to the Oilers here.
So you want Oilers as best?
No.
Oh. Good. Me neither.
But I do think they're going to be high.
Okay.
I think Hellebuck played very well.
Yes,
That
he
looks
did.
good for the Jets.
They've won 9 straight, Dan.
Yep.
They're on about to be on a 10-game heater.
And then I think the Caps are still pretty good.
How are Caps Jets not 2 favorites, though?
That's what I think.
Okay.
I think we go Cappies 1.
Cappy's 575.
Then I think we go Jets 850.
No, 700.
Oh, 700,
yeah.
sorry. Then I think we go Oilers.
Oilers 850.
And then give me the Panthers 900.
Wow.
And
Over
then-
Dallas?
That Miro injury is so bad.
Fuck.
But also Matthew.
LTIR. And Matthew. Fuck.
Fuck.
They're pretty close.
Stars 1,000. And give me Canes 1,200.
Okay.
All right, so Wags. Caps 575, Jets 700, Oilers 850, Panthers 900, Stars 1,000, Canes 1,200.
You got none of them right.
Boom.
We know our shit.
Boom. Okay, let's flip Caps and Jets maybe.
I like that.
Okay, so we're going to go Jets 575, Caps 700. Maybe flip Stars and Panthers.
I love
Oh,
that.
no, wait.
No, flip
Oilers are
Oil,
wrong, though.
Oil and Panthers. Oilers 900, Panthers 850. And now let's just flop the Canes and
That feels
Stars.
crazy, but
Stars 1,200. That would be insane.
I know. But they've dogged them before.
Agree. All right. How about that? Did you follow that?
Jets 575, Capitals 700, Panthers 850, Oilers 900, Hurricanes 1,000, Stars 1,200.
You got one correct. And
What, dude?
Who is it?
the Panthers.
Panthers 850.
Okay.
So we've tried Caps favorites, Jets favorites.
So
it's Oilers?
Here we go, dude. Oilers 575.
Bro, what the fuck?
Oilers 575.
We've tried the Caps and Jets. Wait, dude. What the fuck? We've tried the Caps and Jets as the top 2.
Yeah.
They've each been the top 2, and 3 is gone.
Yeah. So they're both like.
Who the fuck is 2?
I think it's Carolina or the Stars.
It literally has to be.
Yes.
So what, Stars?
No, Carolina. Dude, I don't know. And this is what's funny is like this clip comes out and people are like, you guys are idiots. And I'm like, you're a fucking dummy. You think any of this makes
How
sense?
are the
dude?
Caps and Jets not there? Okay, so let's go Carolina. And then let's go Stars. What do you want to do with Stars? One of the top 2. Or no, sorry. Stars have to be... Stars could be 900. Have we guessed that yet? No, we haven't. Stars
I don't
could
think
be
so.
900. So then the Caps and Jets are the worst 2?
Yes.
Who do you want to be worst?
The Jets.
They're the best team. They have the best
Yes.
record in the league.
And the Caps
And they have
1,000.
the best goalie in the league.
All right, so Wags, we're going Oilers 575, Canes 700, Panthers locked at 850, Stars 900, Caps 1,000, Jets 1,200.
You got them all right.
Bro, what? The Jets?
What is Vegas doing, dude?
That's
like
so
you have the
crazy.
Jets and Capitals on this list as the 2 worst odds, and there's going to be people in the DMs or people in the comment section saying we're so dumb.
They're the 2 best teams in the league. The Jets have won 10 straight games.
The horniness for a Connor McDavid OT goal now makes the Oilers the favorite to win the cup.
Outrageous, dude.
Ridiculous.
All right. We're going to end with a blind ranking,
Let's wrap this puppy up.
and this is going to be a fun one.
Okay.
In honor of Dan's coach being Will Ferrell last night, we are blind ranking Will Ferrell movies.
I love you, Coach. I died for you, Coach.
The Campaign.
5.
Got to be 5. Out the
Happy
gate.
5. Really happy 5.
But there's
there.
now it's actually just if Wags is in his bag and it's all because there's mid-tier movies. Like maybe it's all a mid-tier.
Does he? If Wags includes movies like The House on here, then Wags and I are going to throw hands. The Campaign is as mid-tier as I'll accept. I couldn't be happier with that being.
What great meme.
Oh, dude.
Welcome to the fucking show.
Movie has funny moments. It's not a good movie. Campaign 5.
Blades of Glory.
This is going to be hard. Underrated movie, I think.
Dude.
Underrated movie, I think.
Yes.
It's like
Blades of Glory is so good.
yeah, like and it's not put in that top tier most often.
It is so good. But God, does he have a catalog?
I know. So like is this a 4? But actually no. I actually think I want to leave one below it. I actually want to leave one below
kind
it.
of hear you, and we go 3, but like we're in such scary waters.
I know,
now.
but there's a few there that I'm like that's actually
we're in
worse.
such
People sleep
scary
on Blades of
waters
Glory.
there. I'll go 3, but
Michael
I'm very scared because there's one. There's really one I can think. I mean, there's
several that we could put
several,
below
but
us.
with the ones that are considered here, I think there's only one I have. Like the others are just so good.
So you want to go 4?
I kind of want to go 4, but I'm going to be utterly devastated if
Pissed that Blades of Glory would be 4. But maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't be pissed. All right.
That movie is so good, though.
It's hilarious, bro.
Begrudgingly 4 or Risky 3?
Risky 3.
Really?
Out of respect.
Okay, Risky 3 out of respect.
Blades of Glory 3.
Step Brothers.
You don't even like that movie, dude.
That's not true. I used to disrespect it because I just thought it was utter nonsense.
Now we're fucked because I want this up and I think you're going to want it down.
No. I cannot in good conscience put Step Brothers below. But now like Step Brothers is 2.
Yeah.
We fucked something. Something is going to be 4. That
Not
doesn't deserve
necessarily. Not necessarily.
Yeah, I know what's going to happen here.
Not
And
necessarily.
It's a huge bummer. It's a huge bummer.
Okay, Dan. Then let's fuck Step Brothers.
No. Because I know how much the people love Step Brothers.
Let's fuck Step Brothers.
It also gave us one of the greatest blooper reel of all time.
Yeah, it did.
And it introduced us to funny Adam Scott. We got to go 2. Step Brothers 2.
2.
Talladega Nights.
4.
4.
And I feel pretty good all of a sudden.
Oh, dude.
I feel pretty good all of a sudden. All of a sudden, I feel pretty good.
God, dude. I can't believe this.
Talladega Nights 4. But also respect to Talladega
funny
Nights.
movie.
Really funny movie.
Funny movie. Also
Okay.
highly underrated.
Wags, round us out with our number 1.
Anchorman.
Yeah.
Boom, dude.
Yes, I just rewatched this. I was just telling everybody. I actually forgot how funny that movie is.
It's so funny. It's not my favorite Will Ferrell movie, but it is so funny.
dude.
And this list, my friend,
Is Tits McGee.
is Tits McGee. Fantastic. That is a perfect ending to this episode. Huge shout out to our wonderful, wonderful fans who have been hanging out with us all through 4 Nations, came out to that unbelievable skate at Crypto.com Arena. Huge shout out to the Kings. We love you guys. Things are starting to heat up again. We are right back in the thick of shit. We will see you later this week because, as you know, we are back from that amazing tournament and we are back to our regularly scheduled programming, Tuesdays and Thursdays episodes. Unbelievable stuff. And until we see you later this week, skate hard.